Chapter 340. The valley is like spring all year round. Under the double tests of earth, fire and ice and snow, the wood finds the opportunity to survive in the cracks. Otherwise, there will not be such a spiritual thing as green light flower. And it is so close to the grassland. Out of the valley is the vast snow mountain. At the foot of the mountain is the Naku grassland, which is in hibernation. Zaitong's current appearance is really not suitable to meet outsiders. Without an arm, if she encounters incomprehensible ridicule or even a slightly strange look, it will be enough to affect the little girl's future growth. Therefore, Lin Luoran plans to bear essence in this misty valley for half a year. After Zaitong's arm is cured, she will take her home. Ajia, are we going to live here for a long time? Zaitong follows Lin Luoran, watching her busy going in and out of the cave with a bunch of delicious grapes in her hand. After being woken up by Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran promises to return her arm, the little girl's endurance is still very strong. Besides, Zaitong has seen a talking wolf with her own eyes. She has seen Lin Luoran can take out different delicious things out of thin air every day like magic. The little girl also has a lot of confidence about Lin Luoran regrowing her arm. Lin Luoran flattens the exit of the cave and makes it bigger. This natural cave with a hot spring pool will be Zaitong's bedroom in the next 6 months. She is a human girl who walks upright. Compared with the wood wolf which can go through walls, the exit of the cave is too small. You are wrong. Most of the time, you will live here alone. Zaitong, do you have the courage? Lin Luoran weaves soft grass into a straw mat. It is cool and soft to step on it barefoot. She also hunts 2 wolf skins. Zaitong will occasionally go out of the valley to play and she will not be afraid of the cold. Zaitong raises her little face high. Of course I am not afraid. I am the daughter of the grassland. Lin Luoran smiles and encourages her. Zaitong suddenly changes the topic. She is a little depressed, but if Ajia is not here, I will be alone in the valley. It will be very boring. Thinking of this, the delicious grapes become tasteless. Lin Luoran smiles and takes her to the cave where Green Light Peanut is, who says I am not in the valley. Ajia is only separated from you by a mountain wall. We can't meet often just to find a way to cure your arm. Do you understand? Also, when you're bored, you can ride White Cloud to play near the snowy mountains. White Cloud was in the valley. Not only White Cloud, but all the wild horses were there. The valley had a radius of nearly 10 miles, and it was not a problem for it to accommodate hundreds of wild horses. There was also plenty of grass and leaves in the winter, and the wild horses had already regarded this valley as their paradise. Of course, the grassland wolf doesn't dare to come back. Lin Luoran's deterrence shrouds the valley as long as she is here. She is not a bloodthirsty person. Herbivores such as wild horses and hares can't sense her hostility at all. Only the cunning and fierce carnivores like the grassland wolf are afraid of the valley. Of course, Lin Luoran can't do closed-door meditation with this alone. She spends a day making a jade plate for Zaitong. It is a defensive magic circle learned from the crazy Taoist. Although it is not as good as the one made for Jiang Mingyue by the crazy Taoist, in this snowy mountains, the powerful attacks that Zaitong can encounter should not be able to break the defense of the jade plate and hurt her. Lin Luoran hangs the jade plate around Zaitong's neck and builds an ice storage pond in the cave. She uses the water spell to strengthen it. As long as she strengthens it every month, the ice inside will not melt and the stored fresh fruits, vegetables, and meat will not go bad. This is to prevent Lin Luoran from forgetting the passage of time when she is in closed-door meditation. This way, Zaitong will not starve to death. Of course, Lin Luoran also piled up a lot of rice and flour in her space. These staple foods don't need to be stored in the cellar. As long as they are not damp, they can be kept for a long time. Another thing is that Zaitong is not a cultivator. She can't enjoy the convenience of releasing fireball spell. That means she has to prepare firewood in addition to food. There are also a lot of wild yaks in the valley. The problem of dried cow dung is solved. If Zaitong does it herself, firewood will not be a problem. Having said that, Lin Luoran still makes a place for piling up some hay. Her way of collecting firewood is direct and violent. With a roll of wind, the dead branches and hay on the ground run over obediently. Zaitong sees this scene. The little girl is curious and wants to know. Lin Luoran knows that Zaitong wants to learn, but Zaitong has no Taoist root like her mother. Ajia, I can take care of myself. Don't worry. Zaitong has been soaking in the hot spring and eating various fruits and vegetables produced in her space all day long. There is no wind and sand in the valley. The valley is locked in thick fog and there is no strong sunlight. Zaitong's cheeks have gradually become white in this half a month, which makes her eyes look more lively. She is making a promise to Lin Luoran at this moment. Because today, Lin Luoran will officially do closed-door meditation to bear essence. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and tells Zaitong that she can ask White Cloud to bring news to Dunju regularly so that she and Nana will not be so worried. Zaitong's eyes are shining when she hears this. Can I go back to see them? Lin Luoran thinks about it seriously and then asks her, are you willing to leave your current life and move to a place where no one knows you and stop grazing? Zaitong shakes her head. She grew up on the grassland. Even if she is willing, Dunju and Nana will not. That's it. Think about it. Now that you go back, everyone will find that you have lost an arm and it will grow back after a while. You, Dunju, and Nana will not be able to live a peaceful life now. Zaitong seems to understand a little, but she no longer insists on going back to see Dunju. Lin Luoran breathes a sigh of relief. She can finally start her closed-door meditation without worry. Lin Luoran has no time to deal with the wood wolf who is forced into her space. It is said that it is still being trained by Fire Phoenix. What worries Lin Luoran is that the wakan in her body is getting thicker and thicker, but there is no sign of bearing essence. Without the experience of predecessors, it is really difficult. In fact, what worries her more is that there are 3 rotating nebulas in her pubic region. Is bearing essence also 3 golden elixirs? Besides, the green light flower and wood wolf entering her space reminds Lin Luoran of the previous 2 times when Reiki in her body changed. For the first time, she secretly learned the fireball spell on the rooftop of Commander Qin's villa. She integrated her spiritual mind into the fire Reiki molecules. Then, a vein of fire Reiki was naturally separated from her body. For the second time, she drifted along the coast and trekked on icebergs. She happened to get the ice grass and draw the water Reiki on the ice land. Then, she advanced to the completion of training Qi. Moreover, the chaos Reiki in her body was separated from the water Reiki. For the first time, she could feel the fire Reiki smoothly because the flame fruit had been planted and the fire phoenix had existed. The second time, the water Reiki was separated because of the ice grass and silver fish. The third time, the green light flower and the wood wolf. Has the chaos Reiki in her body been complementary to the space? Yes, it must be so. This explains why the sacred pearl space can directly transmit Reiki to her, and the improvement of her personal ability will bring about the expansion of the area of the space. It turns out that she and the mysterious space handed down by her ancestors have become an inseparable whole when the blood is integrated. She still thinks that she is just a manager, but she doesn't know that on the path of personal ability enhancement, the relationship between her and the space has been inseparable. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether the space will have any problems without her. However, if the space is separated from her, Lin Luoran has an intuition that she will lose more than a cheating device. Will she get nothing or be obliterated directly? Judging from the fact that she can't enter the cabin now, the authority of the space is obviously higher than hers. When will this damn inequality be reversed? Lin Luoran's thoughts drift far away. If she wants to bear essence, she may have to divide the wood Reiki first. The 3 nebulas in her pubic region are rotating quietly. Lin Luoran doesn't restrict her spiritual mind, letting it drift. Chapter 341. Compared with the heat and vitality of fire, wood is fragile and cold. Fire can bring people a contradictory feeling of safety and danger. What about wood? Towering trees can also be cut down by human beings to make dining tables, beds, soft white paper, and disposable wooden chopsticks. Human beings can't completely master fire, so they use it but also fear it. What about trees? Trees don't fight back, so humans can only use plants and have no fear. Lynn Loran's thoughts wander. She thinks of spirit herbs with wonderful effects and all kinds of Chinese herbal medicines, including poisonous ones and life-saving ones. Nature is really a wonderful creator. Compared to the quick-witted and gentle water, wood was stiff and stiff. Floods can also kill most animals, including human beings. However, the growth of food and energy can't be separated from water. Gentle water is also useful to human beings, but it always reminds them that it is not weak and easy to bully. But what about wood? Is wood really easy to bully? Lin Luoran can't help but think of water hyacinth, commonly known as water hyacinth. This kind of water hyacinth is native to the Amazon River in South America. It blooms beautiful purple flowers in summer. Although it can purify the water and be used as pig feed, it can occupy the water in a short time because of its horrible reproduction ability. It can block the channel and rob the sunlight and oxygen that plankton and fish need, causing a fault in the food chain. This is not the fault of water hyacinth. It just wants to live. It wanted to grow, so it could tolerate humans putting it in heavily polluted waters. Pesticide residues and heavy metal pollution were all absorbed into its body. In summer, it still bloomed beautiful purple flowers. Who would have thought that among the green water hyacinth floating in the lake, among the dazzling purple flowers, its body was full of toxins? Why does it live so tenaciously? To live. The nature of wood is vitality and tolerance. The green pasture will put seeds into the stomachs of animals when they are nibbled and then excreted with feces. In the next year's rain, the seeds will break out of the soil and germinate like wildfire on the land. Then they will reincarnate like their ancestors. Berries and plants pecked by birds will even stick their seeds on the feathers of birds and hide in the soil carried by their claws. They will fly over lakes and mountains and spread the seeds to distant places. Some of these seeds were lucky enough to land on plains with plenty of water and soil, but they might not grow smoothly. Perhaps as soon as they broke out of the ground, they would be trampled by humans and chewed by cattle and sheep. However, there were still some that escaped and matured, continuing to reproduce to the next generation. What about the seeds that fell into the water or the desert? They were soaked in water until they sprouted. They couldn't grab onto the soil and could only drift along with the water until they died alone. Perhaps it was because of this process that they evolved into semi-aquatic plants. In the desert, under the scorching sun, in order to find a bit of water, they dug their roots deep into the sand dunes to absorb the hard-won water, evolving their leaves to the size of a needle tip to reduce evaporation, such as the cactus. How much had these fragile plants sacrificed in order to survive? These thoughts flash through Lin Loran's mind. She feels that she is floating in the water with the seeds of grass, struggling in the desert, and experiencing different lives. A blade of grass could be very humble, but it could also be very great. For humans, it can be trampled by 1 foot. For ants, the grass is also a towering tree. Lin Loran's spiritual mind attaches to a blade of grass in the valley. As time goes by, she gradually forgets her identity as if she was born to be a blade of grass. Most of the time when she was a blade of grass, she felt happy. At this time, she would stretch herself against the wind, communicate with the wildflowers, and look down at the insects and ants crawling under her roots. When it rained, the leaves would be washed by the rain. The sweet water vapor of the snow mountain made her feel that all the pores on her body were opened. There were also times when it didn't rain for a long time. The valley was so hot that people wanted to sleep. Suddenly, one day, a black hoof stepped on her. Lin Luoran was frightened. However, because the roots were firmly rooted in the soil, she couldn't escape. At this moment, she forgot that she was actually a cultivator who was about to bear essence. Facing such a sudden hoof, she shouldn't be afraid. She couldn't escape, so she was stepped on. 2 leaves on her body were broken, and she couldn't straighten up. For a moment, Lin Luoran even complains about the injustice of God. Why did she have to be born into such a weak existence? She has no power to protect herself and can only be hurt passively forever. Lin Luoran's real body is sitting in the stone trough in the cave. The rolling transparent sticky warm liquid and the snow water dripping from the top of her head make her body be polished like the original cyan lamp. Only in such an environment can the cyan lamp of the wood grow. In such an environment, it is naturally easier to find the origin of the wood. In such an environment, the nebula in her body constantly absorbs the wood reiki gathered by the special terrain of the valley. Wakan becomes more viscous. Unconsciously, 4 months have passed. In the beginning, Lin Luoran often went out of the cave, so Zaitong didn't feel lonely. But this time, Ajia hasn't come out for a month. As the spell fails, the ice in the cellar gradually melts. Looking at the meat, Zaitong is very worried that it will be wasted because of spoilage. The little girl comes up with an idea. She ties the meat that Lin Luoran hunts for her with a leather rope and puts it on White Cloud's back. She begs it to take it back to Dunju. After White Cloud became a messenger, the days when it was a Pegasus are gone forever. It accepts its fate and carries dozens of kilograms of meat. Before dawn, it puts it in front of Zaitong's yurt. Zaitong regrets that she doesn't have a bag. Otherwise, she can let her mom and Nana taste the rice and flour. The crystal and chewy rice and the white flour make her love them so much. Zaitong is crying while stuffing grapes into her mouth. There are many animals to play with her here. White Cloud is willing to carry her to see the vast snowy mountains. There are endless delicious foods and the warm climate is like spring all year round. However, Zaitong still misses home. She misses the butter tea cooked by Nana and Dunju's rusty skill when she braids her hair. After sending so many letters, White Cloud has never been caught. It should be okay for her to go back and have a look, right? After a few days, Lin Luoran still hasn't come out. Zaitong finally can't resist the temptation in her heart and sneaks home on White Cloud. White Cloud runs so fast. When Zaitong arrives at the yurt, the sky is still dark. Because of the familiar smell of the little master, her dog doesn't bark and the cattle and sheep don't move. She walks in quietly. In the moonlight, she can see the sleeping faces of Dunju and Nana. In just 4 months, Nana seems to be 10 years older. As for Dunju's mom, she is so thin that only a layer of flesh remains on her face. Their only daughter is missing. How worried they are. Zaitong accidentally bumps the wooden bowl and Dunju turns over. She remembers what Lin Luoran told her. If she wants to live a peaceful life in the future, she can't let Dunju and Nana see her broken arm now. Even if they are not afraid of the weirdness of her regrown arm, they will still be sad when they see Zaitong with only one arm. Holding back her tears, Zaitong runs out of the yurt and gets on the horse. Mother and daughter are connected. Dunju wakes up from her dream and feels that her daughter's breath is still beside her a moment ago. She lifts the blanket and chases after her. Under the hazy sky, only a white Pegasus could be seen galloping on the grassland that had returned to spring, disappearing into the horizon. Zaitong, Mom knows it's you. You are back, right? The only answer she gets is the howling wind on the grassland. Back to the valley, Zaitong finally lets out the tears she has been holding back for a long time. She turns over from White Cloud's back and squats on the grass. Her tears fall down and fall on a pile of broken grass trampled by wild horses a month ago. She doesn't know that there is a grass in it and Lin Luoran's spiritual mind is attached to it. Lin Luoran wakes up from deep sleep and feels hot and salty water drops. Is it raining? No, it is the sad tears of the little girl. She is moved by such sadness and feels pity for the little girl. She forgets that she is a grass and wants to comfort the crying little girl. However, she is not only a grass but also broken by weeds. All she can do is twist her leaves with the wind, which is very funny. Looking at the broken grass dancing weird dance in front of her, Zaitong smiles through her tears. The bright smile drives away the sadness. The little grass is stunned and suddenly understands the meaning of life. Live on for such a smile. Live for the tears a moment ago. Live for this beautiful world. Live for the more beautiful scenery outside the valley. Live for this beautiful world and the more beautiful scenery outside the valley. I'm just a lowly blade of grass, but I also have pain, sorrow, compassion, and happiness. This is the essence of life. Lin Luoran in the stone trough suddenly opens her eyes. The fast-running nebula in her body absorbs the unyielding vitality under the pure snow mountain. At the moment when she opens her eyes, the chaotic nebula is divided into a green nebula. The wood has been separated. Four nebulas are still running at high speed. Wood Reiki are constantly absorbed by her and transformed into Wakan. Red fire, blue water, white Wakan of chaos, and the newly born green wood. The four colors interweave into brilliant colors. They are getting smaller and smaller. Are they compressing? In the pubic region of the ocean of Reiki, four rotating nebulas represent different properties. Lin Luoran knows that this moment is extremely dangerous. If she passes it, she will become a bearing essence cultivator and take another step forward on the long road of personal ability enhancement. If she fails, her personal ability will be ruined and she will die. Even the trampled grass can usher in vitality, let alone herself. Lin Luoran smiles slightly. The nebula in the pubic region seems to sense her thoughts. After shrinking, it rotates at a faster speed. Are they condensing into golden elixir? She doesn't lack Reiki or state of mind. What she can do at the moment is to wait for the completion of the bearing essence step. Chapter 342. How can she have 4 golden elixirs? Spring is warm and flowers are blooming. When the Naku grassland ushers in early summer, Lin Luoran finally succeeds in bearing essence. After bearing essence, her appearance doesn't change much. She only excretes stinky black sweat and her skin has a tendency to evolve like jade. Lin Luoran finds that her bones seem to have developed again. Her fingers are long and slender. She is also taller by a few centimeters. Now she is 1.72 meters tall. Outside the center of Chuan province, she is just the right height for the younger generation who are getting better and better in nutrition. In fact, what worries Lin Luoran is the 4 golden elixirs with different colors in her pubic region. The white one is slightly bigger and it is still in the middle as usual. The remaining 3 small golden elixirs, red, blue and green, are like satellites surrounding the white one. In addition, there is a circle of Wakan around the surface of the 4 golden elixirs and the misty nebula in her pubic region. When these 4 round things move, they look like a small galaxy. There are 9 planets in the solar system. Wrong, Pluto was expelled, so there were only 8 planets left. Because there is no comparison, she doesn't know whether the existence of these 4 golden elixirs has shared the original strength of the bearing essence period or made her more powerful than ordinary bearing essence cultivators. She has no time to check the space. After stabilizing her personal ability, she goes out of the place of closed-door training. Roughly calculating, Zaitong has been in closed-door training for 2 months. Has she not eaten anything? When Lin Luoran finds the little girl, she is basking on the top of the snow mountain. In the early summer, the ice melts and the gullies of the snow mountain are filled with piercing ice water. Zaitong is circling on the top of the snow mountain with White Cloud following her every step. Feeling its master's aura, White Cloud ran over. It was obviously acting cute because its appearance was too good, and its movements were natural and untainted. Ajia. I miss you so much. Until White Cloud disappears, Zaitong finds that Lin Luoran is standing not far behind and looking at her. In half a year, the little girl has grown a few centimeters taller. She originally wanted to show off and threw herself into Lin Luoran's arms. However, she finds that the place where she made a gesture before has grown a little bit taller. It's so disappointing. Has Agia also grown taller? They ride White Cloud back to the valley together. Sure enough, the ice in the ice house has melted and there is only a pool of water left. Zeitong is not a fool. She uses geothermal to smoke some meat into jerky. However, fruits are only fresh. They can't be kept after the ice melts. Zeitong hasn't eaten them for a long time. Sigh, it's difficult to go from extravagance to frugality. Agia, can my hand really be cured? Zeitong is happy to eat the delicious fruit. However, the little girl now knows how to hide her worries. Lin Luoran doesn't miss the worries that appear in her eyes from time to time. Lin Luoran nods solemnly. She is not only trying to convince Zeitong, but also herself. In order to make the little girl happy, Lin Luoran keeps her promise of a red coral necklace. The red coral is found in the Dragon Palace. It's unforgettable to steal it from yourself. Lin Luoran is very wasteful. She only takes the thickest part and carves it into hundreds of coral beads. She makes a necklace for Zeitong. Although the red coral necklace is precious, Lin Luoran takes the white paper and folds it into a paper crane. The scene of the small paper crane dancing around Zeitong is obviously more attractive to the little girl. While Zeitong is still studying the magical paper crane, Lin Luoran flashes into the space. Although she has guessed that the space will become bigger, the area has doubled at once. Is it? The surprise comes so fast that she is numb for a while. Counting the increase when she was in the late laying foundation period, the space now has an area of 10 acres. Lin Luoran looks at the space and sighs. If this 10 acres of land is all used to grow vegetables and trees, isn't it too wasteful? If it can be divided into areas, it will be perfect. For example, in a farm game in the secular world, the fields are divided into several levels. For spirit herbs, it should gather the most abundant reiki in the entire space. For vegetables and trees, it doesn't need to be so wasteful. Thinking about it casually, the ground under her feet shakes. Lin Luoran doesn't know what is going on. However, she sees that the space is really divided into 3 areas after shaking for a while as she thinks. The 2 acres of land next to the spring becomes red land. Most of the reiki of the spring seems to be locked in this area. Spirit herbs are all moved to the red land. The place where Chinese herbs are planted becomes 2 acres of black land. The rest of the vegetables, fruits and trees are moved to 6 acres of yellow land. Was it because of her idea that the red, black, and yellow soil with different fertility were created? Lin Luoran thinks again. Except for the 2 acres of land where spirit herbs are planted, the boundary between black land and yellow land doesn't need to be too clear. Fruits and vegetables can be mixed on the land of 2 colors, which is convenient for her to take out according to the situation. As soon as she thinks about it, the space changes again. This time, there is no rumbling or shaking, but some trees and vegetables quietly exchange places with Chinese herbs. Lin Luoran blinks and can't help but close her eyes and scream, "Fire Phoenix, what's going on?" Fire Phoenix comes out of the cabin with its ears pricked. "Why are you yelling so early in the morning?" It's too much to disturb other people's dreams. Lin Luoran really wants to correct it for 2 things. First, a half-spirit doesn't need to sleep. Second, a phoenix is not a human being. But she needs Fire Phoenix to solve her doubts, so Lin Luoran doesn't provoke it. "Hey, you figured out the function by yourself?" Fire Phoenix patrols around the space and shows high praise for Lin Luoran's performance. Lin Luoran faintly knows that perhaps because of the wood wolf and the bearing essence, she has a closer connection with the space. The situation is very good. She and the space are no longer one-sidedly superior. As for the difference between the things planted by the 3-colored soil, she has to wait for her own practice to prove it. After hearing her question, Fire Phoenix laughs. "In fact, you haven't found a bigger surprise." "What big surprise is there in the space?" Lin Luoran is very surprised. Is it like playing games where she can get a big gift bag after leveling up? Lin Luoran pesters Fire Phoenix to find out the truth. However, this proud Fire Phoenix swings its gorgeous tail feathers and slips into the cabin. Lin Luoran doesn't check and stumbles. She thinks she will still be bounced back by the inhibition like QQ jelly. Unexpectedly, she passes through the inhibition, she falls hard on the ground and eats a mouthful of mud. Lin Luoran has no time to care about her embarrassing appearance. She takes a breath of the air inside the inhibition, which is addictive like taking drugs. What abundant Reiki! The inhibition is broken. Is this the surprise that Fire Phoenix said? No, the inhibition is still covering the entire cabin. It is she who passes through the inhibition. The real surprise should be that she can finally step into the range of the shrouded cabin. Lin Luoran holds her skirt and walks forward along the bluestone. She hesitates in front of the ordinary wooden door. What would be waiting for her? Lin Luoran is a little nervous. Finally, she plucks up the courage to open the wooden door. Just as she pushes open the door which can accommodate one person, a green shadow rushes to her. Did she touch the inhibition? Chapter 343. The green shadow rushing over is actually the unwilling wood wolf. Of course, it has no chance to hurt Lin Luoran. As soon as its head comes out, it is slapped to the ground by the Fire Phoenix. This monster wolf has been living a miserable life both before and after death. As a wolf that can cast spells, it can't defeat Lin Luoran in life and it can't defeat the Fire Phoenix in death. Its life is far more tragic than the tea table. Seeing that the wood wolf is under control, Lin Luoran ignores it. The inside of this cabin is much larger than it looks. From where Lin Luoran stands, she can see a large living room. There are many closed wooden doors in the antique wooden building, which looks like the structure of an ancient inn. Lin Luoran sees the little silver fish pushing the door out of a room on the first floor. She is full of curiosity about everything and observes carefully. There are 5 rooms on the first floor and a circle on the second floor. The little silver fish says that they all live on the first floor. Lin Luoran wants to see their rooms, but the little silver fish refuses. Your room is the first room on the second floor. Go up by yourself. The first room on the second floor. Seeing the encouragement in the eyes of the silver fish, Lin Luoran walks up to the second floor. The wooden building has existed for many years. The creaking sound makes Lin Luoran suspect that these stairs will break down at any time. Lin Luoran feels that today is like guessing riddles. She enters the inhibition and enters the cabin. There is her own room in the cabin. What about the room? What will be waiting for her? Lin Luoran takes a breath and pushes open the door of the room on the second floor. A gust of wind blows over. Lin Luoran gives a big supercilious look. It's not creative at all. However, looking around, she sees that the Fire Phoenix, the silver fish, and the wood wolf are all on the first floor. How does the wind come out from the door? Lin Luoran's heart tightens. The wooden door is suddenly opened from the inside by something. Before the person appears, a little girl is giggling. Is she not the only human being in the space? Lin Luoran can't help but take 2 steps back. Because she is too shocked, she misses the nostalgia in the eyes of the Fire Phoenix. How many years has it been since she heard her voice again? The wooden door is pulled open. In Lin's vigilance, she sees a little girl who is about 7 or 8 years old running out. Her hair is combed into a bun. Oh, you are here. She raises her head. Different from Lin Luoran's alert eyes, her tone is rare intimacy. Oh, you're here. Lin Luoran doesn't know where this intimate feeling comes from. However, looking at the girl's pure eyes, Lin Luoran feels close to her unconsciously. She was sure that this was the first time she had seen this little girl. Where did this strange sense of familiarity come from? The little girl doesn't go downstairs. She doesn't even look at the 3 souls downstairs. She reaches out her little hand, grabs Lin Luoran, and drags her out of the door. The ordinary wooden door separated the room from the outside into two different worlds. There is a trace of sadness in the cold eyes of Fire Phoenix. Wood Wolf is reckless and still provokes it. Fire Phoenix fiercely clawed it with her claws. Its newly condensed soul of departed is almost smashed. It doesn't dare to act rashly for a while. Well, is this space fun? The little girl sits on the bed, holding her chin and looking at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran is in a daze. She thought there was something in the room, but it turns out to be almost the same as her room in Lin's house. No, this is closer to the room she once fantasized about when she was young. Through the large floor-to-ceiling glass, she can see the fields of the space, the gauze-like curtains, the soft and comfortable bed, the warm and simple wallpaper, the wardrobe, the dressing table, and a new laptop on the desk. Hey, is this a combination of ancient and modern? Lin Luoran is in a daze for a long time before she realizes what the little girl asked. Is the space fun? It turns out that the space is for playing. Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. She really doesn't know who she is. Such a space is just a plaything in the eyes of this little girl. Well, it's fun. If it has to be a plaything, this is much more fun than growing vegetables in the real world. Lin Luoran is just telling the truth. The little girl changes the posture of holding her chin again. I'm relieved that it's fun. I didn't leave the space to you in vain. By the way, what's your name? Lin Luoran sits up straight. Is this little girl in front of her really the original owner of the space? Lin Luoran, Lin with two woods, Luo as in Luo Shui, Ran as in Ran. The little girl dips her finger in tea and gestures on the desk. Is this how it is written? Lin Luoran looks at the desk and blushes. She thinks she has learned enough words, but she still can't recognize the 3 characters written by the little girl. However, she never knows that someone can write the 3 characters, Lin Luoran, in such an elegant way. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and also dips her finger in tea like the little girl. She writes with all the characters she knows. The little girl has been staring at her with a smile and asks many questions from time to time. Lin Luoran changes all the characters she knows. It seems that there are still no characters that the little girl knew. Lin Luoran is a little disappointed. The little girl comforts her. When I learned to write, he said I didn't want to learn other characters. It's none of your business. The little girl looks like 7 or 8 years old and speaks very cute. However, her state of mind is much more mature than Lin Luoran. She soon diverts Lin Luoran's attention. The two talk for half an hour. The Fire Phoenix on the first floor is restless. It wants to go upstairs several times, but it forcibly holds back. Upstairs, Lin Luoran originally wanted to ask about the secret of the space, but she completely forgets the original intention. The topic of the conversation has been led by the little girl. We have talked for so long. Did I forget to tell you my name? He always said that I have a bad memory, and he is right. The little girl's eyes become crescents. My name is Momo. Don't forget it. Lin Luoran subconsciously nods. Momo pats her head. I forget the business when I talk. This bead space is very interesting. If you have any questions in the future, you can ask Little Red. Who is Little Red? Lin Luoran has a faint sense of foreboding. Momo opens her eyes wide. Don't you know Little Red? Its tail is very beautiful, and it can also breathe fire. It is very docile. Lin Luoran is almost choked. Is the little girl talking about the Fire Phoenix downstairs? The tail is very beautiful. Of course, the Fire Phoenix can breathe fire. Docile? How is it docile? Haha, it turns out that its name is Little Red. Hilarious. Momo suddenly takes Lin Luoran's hand and looks her up and down. You are more beautiful than I used to be. I don't know if he likes a girl like this. Can you promise me that you will help me take care of him in the future? Lin Luoran feels uncomfortable under Momo's gaze. Who is he? A cultivator's oath is confirmed by the Tao of Nature. She can't make a promise casually. Momo thinks for a while and reaches out her hand to make a water mirror. The figure in the mirror makes Lin Luoran stunned. The man in robe. The man in robe who writes golden characters. Feeling the temperature of Momo's palm dropping, Lin Luoran wakes up from the shock. Momo sees that Lin Luoran lowers her head and says nothing. Momo smiles. Is it too much to ask? It doesn't matter. Just forget what I said. Lin Luoran frowns. Your hand is so cold. Momo pulls out her hand and nods with an indifferent smile. Yes, because I am going back. Going back, where to go? As if to prove what she said, in Lin Luoran's inquiring eyes, the little girl's body, which is no different from a real person, gradually becomes transparent. Momo. Lin Luoran reaches out her hand to catch her, but Momo floats in the air. I have been waiting for many years to see you. Don't worry. I am just sleepy. I am going back to sleep. Momo is still smiling, but tears are coming out of her eyes. The tears turn into a crystal teardrop and Momo throws it into Lin Luoran's hand. Lin Luoran looks at the little girl's tears and feels the same way. She also tears. Her tears mix with the teardrop. The two merge and shine like crystals. Lin Luoran. It is a better name than Momo. Does he like such a name? The little girl murmurs. She turns into a breeze and completely disappears in the room. Lin Luoran is left alone. She feels like she is still in a dream. Lin Luoran rushes downstairs. Who is Momo? Why do I cry when she cries? Why do I feel happy when she smiles? Fire Phoenix curls its lips unnaturally, because you are stupid. Lin Luoran is furious. Fire Phoenix rolls its eyes. Did she give you something? Lin Luoran opens her palm and reveals the teardrop of the two of them. Wood Wolf shows a covetous expression. It wants to snatch it regardless of the strength of Fire Phoenix. However, Fire Phoenix grabs it and puts the teardrop between Lin Luoran's eyebrows. Lin Luoran doesn't know what it is. It is incomparable in Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness. When it sees the fly Apsara's painted sculpture, it hides in it. Wood Wolf grimaces. You are going too far. You are really going too far. Now even Lin Luoran feels it is annoying. She straightens her face. Now that we have time, shouldn't you tell me some questions? Fire Phoenix gloats and takes the silver fish back to their own room. Seeing that Wood Wolf is embarrassed, Lin Luoran touches her eyebrows. The appearance of Momo not only doesn't solve the mystery, but also makes her have more questions. She remembers in her dream that the bead space belongs to the man in robe. However, Momo said that she gave the bead to her. Can it be understood that the bead originally belonged to the man in robe, but he gave it to Momo and finally fell into her hands? Not only that, the little girl also gave her a teardrop that she doesn't know what it is for. If the "by" she saw just now was just in existence like a remnant, then where were the real man in robe and Bayan now? Lin Luoran walks out of the wooden house and suddenly pats her head. The appearance of Momo disrupts her plan. She originally came to ask Fire Phoenix about regrowing her broken arm. Ready. Ready, come out. Chapter 344. In the hot spring pool, Zaitong is stripped naked and soaked in the hot spring. Only her small head and shoulders are exposed. Lin Luoran is holding a small bowl in her hand. The bowl is half filled with black liquid. Under her mixing, it glows with a faint golden light. Ajia, can this really cure my arm? Zaitong's eyes are flashing and she swallows. In half a year, the wound on her broken arm has long healed, leaving an ugly lump of flesh. The pink lump of flesh makes the wound look horrible. However, she has seen it for so long and has long been used to it. What makes Zaitong swallow is the medicine mixed in Lin Luoran's hand. The strange fragrance makes people greedy. Is such a thing really used to cure diseases? Lin Luoran feels the medicine and smiles. Little glutton, of course it is used to cure wounds. But it will be very painful. can you bear it? Zaitong nods fiercely. Compared with the pain of losing her arm forever, she is certainly willing to choose the former. Lin Luoran frightens her. If you move around and your arm grows crooked, you will cry. Zaitong's little face wrinkles. Seeing that she finally stops twisting, Lin Luoran carefully applies the medicine to the wound on her broken arm. The black medicine mixed with golden light is not soluble in water. Instead, it seeps into Zaitong's wound and disappears in the blink of an eye. Lin Luoran carefully considers the dosage and then puts away the rest of the medicine. She is not stingy, but this spirit medicine is too precious. This black thing is the dragon marrow from the Dragon Palace in Dongting. Dragons have strong bodies and the regenerative function of their marrow is naturally incomparable. It was just that in the past, ordinary cultivators couldn't get their hands on dragon marrow for things like regrowing severed limbs, and powerful cultivators couldn't use this function. Plus, the dragon race was powerful, so the effect of dragon marrow didn't spread. Because of the powerful regenerative function of dragon marrow, Zaitong's ordinary body might not be able to bear the little dragon marrow if she hadn't been nourished by the spirit rice and fruits provided by Lin Luoran in the past 6 months. Lin Luoran plans to use the rest of the medicine on the little cultivator who lost his arm during the siege of the bloodline. Although the dragon marrow is precious, it is worth it to make a little girl like Zaitong smile again in Lin Luoran's eyes. In the hot spring, Zaitong has begun to twist her body. The warm pool water makes her blood flow faster. The medicine takes effect quickly and Zaitong's pain comes. A person's arm, including the time it has been developed in the mother's body, will not be shaped until it grows straight and develops with the body. If Zaitong wants to regrow her broken arm in a short time with the help of dragon marrow, the pain of cell division is enough to make this 12-year-old girl wander in hell. What a stubborn little girl. Lin Luoran looks at her sweaty but silent face. Lin Luoran loves her. A burst of soothing wackin of wood is sent into Zaitong's body. The little girl falls into a deep sleep. Lin Luoran estimates that it will be a few days before she wakes up. At such a tense moment, she can't be away from others. Lin Luoran simply sits down by the spring. There are vines everywhere in this valley. Lin Luoran is so bored that she extracts all the fibers of the wood. Such materials can't be calcined by strange fire if they are used to refine weapons. But now, she can try the bolus fire. A small flame appears in Lin Luoran's palm. The 4 colors are intertwined, which is really beautiful. This is not the effect of the fire spell, but the bolus fire that Lin Luoran can have after bearing essence. This kind of slow fire is stable and long-lasting. It is really the best fire for making elixirs and refining weapons. The fibers of the vines turn into a pool of blue water in the bolus fire. Under the guidance of Lin Luoran's fingers, thin and crystal silk threads are drawn out. It seems a good idea to make a dress with such silk threads as a gift for Zaitong's broken arm. Zaitong vaguely remembers having a long dream. In the dream, she wears gorgeous Tibetan clothes and falls into her mother's arms. Everyone cheers for her return and lights a bonfire. The mutton is sizzling on the fire. White Cloud is so greedy that she can't help sneezing. She suddenly opens her eyes. What she sees is still the cave where she has lived for half a year. Zaitong doesn't know how long she has been soaking in the hot spring. She feels that her hair is wet by the steam and it is uncomfortable to touch her ears. She stretches out her hand to lift her hair and suddenly freezes. She stretched out the arm that was originally severed. Zaitong's eyes widen. Her right arm is intact at this time. Compared with before, there is no difference. No, there is a difference. For example, the brown scar on her elbow that she burned by the fire when she was 6 years old is gone. This is a brand new arm. Zaitong compares the 2 neat arms and jumps happily in the hot spring pool. When she is tired of jumping, she finds that Lin Luoran is not there. Zaitong climbs up from the hot spring pool and finds that her old clothes are gone. There is a new dress on the haystack. She picks it up and compares it. It is the same size as hers. Is it for her? This dress is so beautiful. Zaitong holds the necklace in her hand. The material is smoother than silk with green background. The cuffs, collar, and skirt are all inlaid with soft fur. The skirt is decorated with many green beads. Zaitong doesn't know that these beads are all carved with jade, but she knows the pearls. Looking at the colorful bead necklace, Zaitong's mouth is so wide that she can swallow an egg. Mom always says she's sorry for not having money to make the best Tibetan dress for her. If Mom Dunju sees this dress, she will be crazy with joy, right? Zaitong carefully puts on the dress. Well, it's a little thin. What a pity. I'm afraid that I can't wear it when I get out of the valley. The little girl worries about gains and losses. She goes out of the cave and sees Lin Luoran standing in front of White Cloud, looking at her with a smile. Ajia. She calls, but her eyes are red. Although she calls Ajia, she knows that Lin Luoran is not her real Ajia. After recovering her memory, Lin Luoran is powerful and omnipotent. She is like a holy fairy on the snow mountain. How can ordinary herdsmen like them get close to her? But why is Ajia still so good to her? She treats her hand, makes a coral necklace for her, and makes a beautiful Tibetan dress for her. Seeing the tears in the little girl's eyes, Lin Luoran squats down to comfort her. A crying little girl is not beautiful. It's cold outside the valley. Put on this hat. This is a beautiful white hat with round coral beads mixed with emerald green. Zaitong almost falls in love with it at first sight. Are we going home? Zaitong puts on the hat, and the beads hang on her forehead. The little girl benefits not only from the regrowth of her broken arm, but also from the skin all over her body. At this moment, she looks no worse than any girl who grew up in the city. Yes, let's go home. Lin Luoran carries her to the horse and jumps on it. Go home. Not only Zaitong wants to go home, but also Lin Luoran, who has been away from home for a year. White Cloud is very fast. They soon go down the snow mountain and cross the Silver Lake. After crossing several grassy hills, Lin Luoran has already seen the familiar yurt. Dunju is packing the fodder. Hearing the roar of White Cloud, she raises her head. One glance is enough to make her burst into tears. Mother and daughter are connected by heart. Although they haven't seen each other for half a year, although Zaitong's skin is not the same as before, and although she is wearing a gorgeous Tibetan dress at the moment, Dunju still recognizes at a glance that this is her daughter who has been missing for half a year. Zaitong. Aner, Zaitong gets off the horse and rushes into Dunju's arms. Lin Luoran's eyes are slightly wet. Aner, she hasn't heard this name for a long time. Although life is a never-ending journey and she can't stay on the grassland to watch the sun rise and the moon set all her life, she will always remember the days when she was Aner. Herding sheep, harvesting grass, making butter, and participating in horse racing are all an aria worthy of Lin Luoran's forever collection. Speaking of home, she also has one in the Naku grassland. Chapter 345. The wind in May still carries the last breath of spring. Rome City is bustling with people. In just 1 year, Lin Luoran seems to have experienced a completely different life because her memory is sealed. She looks at Rome City from the perspective of a cultivator in the level of bearing essence again. Well, whether she is in the level of laying foundation or bearing essence, Rome City is a very important landmark for her life. After failing to persuade Zaitong's family to come to Rome City, Lin Luoran is anxious enough to fly back on her sword. Lin's house is quiet. Lin Luoran opens the door suspiciously. There is no one at home. Lin Luoran's surprise is in vain. She touches her nose helplessly. In the evening, her first apprentice Yuan Yi comes home with exhaustion. Seeing his grandmaster sitting in the hall, he is both surprised and aggrieved. Grandmaster, did you advance again? In Yuan Ye's eyes, his grandmaster who was in the level of laying foundation was like a high mountain that he could only look up to. Now Lin Luoran is like an inclusive sea. Yuan Yi scratches his head. Why did he use the word again? The speed of his grandmaster's breakthrough is too fast. Lin Luoran nods, it's just bearing essence. The road ahead is long. We should work together. By the way, why are you here alone? Yuan Yi almost falls down. It's just bearing essence, just bearing essence. Come on, Grandmaster, you are talking about bearing essence. Hearing Lin Luoran mentioning his family, Yuan Yi feels aggrieved. Grandmaster, they are all in the capital. They didn't take me there. Lin Luoran kicks him. It's shameful for a man to act cute. Lin Luoran asks carefully and realizes that she came back at the wrong time. Mr. Lin, Mrs. Lin, Zheng Tian, Li Shi, and even Goldie all flew to the capital the day before she came back. Even the honest Rong Donglin skipped work. Well, Sister Rong, who has been working in the Lin family for a year and hasn't been fired, also skipped work with her brother. What makes the Lin family so excited is related to Luodong and Huang Weijian, who are studying in the capital. According to the reliable news from Yuan Yi, Luodong, the young master of the Lin family, seems to have puppy love in less than a year of college. Hey, you guys are obviously going to see Luodong, okay? Yuan Yi adds oil to the vinegar. He just wants his grandmaster to wave his hand and take him to the capital. Why was he always the one who looked after the house? Book 2 tickets for this afternoon. Lin Luoran will never admit that she is interested in gossip. Well, she has to maintain her image as a master in front of her apprentice. Lin Luoran deceives herself and says that she is just concerned about her brother. Yuan Yi runs away happily, but there is another guest in Lin's house. As soon as Lin Luoran steps into the house, Yang Lisha, a female monster who looks like a sensitive sniffer dog, arrives. Lin Luoran doesn't like Yang Lisha's bad habit of climbing over the wall instead of going through the front door. However, Lin Luoran can't understand how shocked Yang Lisha is. As a monster vine with a long life, Yang Lisha has seen many cultivators. Although Lin Luoran's talent in cultivation is not as good as Yang Lisha's, she has witnessed many peaceful years. If Lin Luoran's talent in cultivation is second, no one dares to call themselves the best. You actually formed your gold core. Lin Luoran almost chokes, you don't seem to want me to bear essence. Yang Lisha shakes her head and stares at Lin Luoran inquisitively. Whether it is the trip to Babylon in the Tower of Babel or the terrifying speed of cultivation, the female monster is sure that this female cultivator, who should be very poor in aptitude, must have a big secret. That crazy Jiang Shang can't teach such an apprentice. To be honest, I was not optimistic about your plan to find Mount Penglai. Your personal ability is too low. Even if you find Spirit Mountain, you probably won't be able to enter. Lin Luoran peels an orange. What about now? Do you feel more confident with the personal ability of bearing essence? Yang Lisha laughs. Only young people like you who haven't seen the golden age of cultivation think highly of the level of bearing essence. 10 cultivators with the personal ability of yours may not be able to reach Penglai. However, if you go alone, maybe you can make it. Yang Lisha makes Lin Luoran dizzy. She asks the female monster again, but she refuses to talk more. You have to think about it carefully. The way back to Penglai is uncertain. When you decide on the day of departure, come to the flower shop to find me. Of course, you have to exchange the soul wood. The female monster walks away after saying this. Looking back at Lin's house, as a knowledgeable monster, she believes in Lin Luoran rather than the personal ability of the level of bearing essence. This female cultivator had a tenacity that wouldn't give up until she reached her goal, which was rarely seen. Lin Luoran feels that she likes this female cultivator a little bit. They both have similar obsessions. Lin Luoran hopes her mother can get the Taoist root, and she hopes Voidy can wake up. Lin Luoran doesn't have time to explore Yang Lisha's mind. She also doesn't want to face the slightly heavy topic of when to leave for now. She and Yuan Yi are on the plane to the capital. She hasn't informed Mr. Lin and others yet. She wants to keep the surprise to the end. Anyway, Yuan Yi knows the hotel where they are staying, so he can help them find the place accurately. Far away in the capital, Lin Luodong is walking on the boulevard of the campus with a gentle girl. Suddenly, he sneezes for no reason. He has a feeling that someone has been peeping at him in the past 2 days. As a young cultivator who has opened the ocean of consciousness and trained qi into his body, Lin Luodong checks the surroundings repeatedly. After making sure there is no abnormality, he starts to talk with the girl again. Although it is already early summer, aren't you wearing thin clothes? The girl blushes. Hearing Lin Luodong sneezing, she is very concerned about his body. Invisible onlookers stare at Lin Luodong. He is wearing jeans and a black shirt. As a cultivator, he is really wearing thin clothes in May. However, the girl next to him is wearing a short-sleeved t-shirt, a pleated skirt and silk stockings. She is delicate and pretty, but she is really thin. The girl dresses up for the man who likes her. There is indeed adultery. Lin Luodong is as gentle as jade, and the cute girl is really like a pure love in a movie. People can't help thinking about it. Lin Luodong gets rid of the feeling of being peeped at. He sends the girl back to the dormitory and turns back. He pretends to walk on the tree-lined path casually. When he passes the grass, he suddenly launches an earth spell. Under the bright sky, the ground of the school suddenly sinks. With a cry, someone finally falls into the pit. What an unfilial son. The mini-world can't stand it anymore. Li Shi, Mr. Lin, and Xing Tian are all cultivators. However, Mrs. Lin, as an ordinary person, almost falls over the pit. She can't help but complain. When the light disperses, Luodong sees his parents, Li Shi, Xing Tian, Rong Donglin, and his sister on the grass. He is totally stunned. He thought that the feeling of covetousness is from other cultivators with bad intentions. Who knows that his family is actually peeping? The young man feels that his temples are swollen. Mom, Dad, sisterly, why are you here? What he wants to ask is, why do you come here secretly? People push each other. Some say that the weather in the capital is good, and others say that the scenery of the school is not bad. They just don't get to the point. Lin Luodong glances at his father. Mr. Lin looks like a gentleman. Mrs. Lin is still complaining that she is frightened. Lin Luodong is such an unfilial son. Li Shi, only stares at you with her big and innocent eyes. Do you want to find clues from her eyes? Sorry, there is nothing in the eyes of a natural simpleton. Hey, who can tell me what is going on? At the corner of the dormitory, Huang Weijian wisely stops. Goldie landed on his arm, and beside him was Wei Shui, who was fuming with anger. For the sake of their great friendship, Huang Weijian decides that he can't stand out and tell Luodong that he is the spy who leaked the information to Luodong. But then again, he was doing this for the sake of his brotherhood. Chapter 346. It seems to be an unwritten rule to take visiting family and friends around the campus in a century-old university in the state of Huaxia. However, Lin Luodong's family and friends are too big. Mr. and Mrs. Lin, Xing Tian, and Li Shi, are all cultivators. Not to mention their appearance, their temperament shows that they are not ordinary people. Such a group of people is particularly eye-catching on campus. When Huang Weijian and Wei Shui receive the news and come to meet them, the group is even more dazzling. Lin Luodong is cheerful and gentle, while Huang Weijian is introverted and low-key. As cultivators, no matter how low-key they can't hide their uniqueness among students. Wei Shui is also a pretty girl. The three of them are the famous Iron Triangle of the university. Each of them has their own supporters. On the tree-lined path, Li Shi smiles. A boy of the university almost bumps into a telephone pole. Lin Luodong realizes that these scourges can't stay on campus anymore. They decide to move. Where to? Lin Luoran's family knows many people in the capital. The Guo family lives in the base. Everyone has to check their ancestors to get in and out of the base. Well, it's a bit exaggerated. But what fun can they have in the base? Master Mu is at a critical moment of his closed-door training. It seems that they have to go to the Qin's villa. Li Shi curls her lips. We should buy a suite near the university. Your dormitory is so small. Her nouveau riche makes Wei Shui uncomfortable. The cheapest suite near the university costs more than 40,000 yuan per square meter. Any one of them costs millions. Wei Shui has just learned that the Lin family is a family of cultivators. She used to visit the Lin family when she was a child. She doesn't think that the Lin family is as arrogant as the legendary cultivators. Therefore, after struggling for a while, she can treat it as normal. However, in the secular world, money and power are more important. She doesn't know that the Lin family is the real boss of the huge Lin's pharmaceutical factory. Li Shi doesn't mean to show off her wealth. Since they are traveling to the capital, Zheng Tian has arranged several cars for them. They go out of the school and drive their own cars. Zheng Tian drives, Luodong sits in the passenger seat, and Wei Shui and Huang Weijian sit in the back seat. Huang Weijian suddenly asked, "Shall I call him Little Fatty?" The chubby boy is Ma Ming. He couldn't get into the University of Huaxia. In his last year, with the help of Luodong and Huang Weijian, he excelled in the college entrance examination and was admitted to a second-tier college in the capital. His father held a banquet for 3 days and rewarded him with a sports car and a house in Zhongguancun. Huaxia is close to the University of Huaxia, so the four of them are not estranged. Huang Weijian suddenly asks because Ma Ming doesn't know they are cultivators. Luodong thinks for a while and nods. Wei Shui keeps an eye on Luodong. She immediately calls Ma Ming and arranges a meeting place. Zheng Tian sighs as he drives. How old were the two teenagers when he first met them? Now, in the blink of an eye, she had reached the age of going to college and dating. Do we really not need to get you a suite on campus? When it comes to houses, no one in the Lin family has a better say than Zheng Tian. Zheng's company has many projects in the capital. Lin Luoran set up Lin's pharmaceutical factory to make money, but that's not the whole reason. Lin's pharmaceutical factory doesn't enter the real estate business in the capital. It just has a circle around Dongting Lake. Lin Luodong is a veritable rich kid, but he and Huang Weijian are only a little better than the children of ordinary working families. Hearing Zheng Tian's proposal, Luodong is a bit tempted. Although the life in the dormitory is lively, it is actually inconvenient for cultivation. His cultivation is not as good as Huang Weijian's. He can't even cast a camouflage like Mini World, so it is very difficult for him to cultivate in the dormitory. It has been more than a year. Luodong has a single Taoist root and has lived in the Lin family for many years, but he has only reached the early stage of training qi. Compared with his sister, Lin Luoran's terrifying cultivation speed, Luodong is nothing. Just to be clear, I don't have enough money. Thinking about his pocket money, Luodong doesn't think he can buy a good house near the University of China. Of course, the price in the real estate industry is too high. If Zheng Tian gives him a big discount, he can still afford it. Zheng Tian is holding the steering wheel and is amused. You got into the number 4 high school as a gift. My brother and I haven't honored it yet. Plus the gift from the University of China, this house was originally intended for you. Look at you, you miser. Luodong doesn't care and nods like an old man. That's good. That's good. It would be better if you could give us 2 houses. It is not convenient for Wei Shui to live with us. Before he finishes, Wei Shui suddenly loses her temper and sneers. You don't have to worry about it. We ordinary citizens are used to living in the dormitory. Luodong scratches his head and winks at Huang Weijian. Is it because Wei Shui's good friend is here to see her? Why is she so angry? Zheng Tian and Huang Weijian are both speechless. Luodong is so similar to his sister Lin Luoran. Luodong is so slow that he doesn't even know it hurts the girl's sensitive self-esteem. The sand is blown on the car window. Time is golden. This is the capital in May of 2018. Whether it is the quarrel of children or Ma Ming's flashy trot suddenly cuts into the traffic flow and Xing Tian's car honks fiercely at Ma Ming's car. At this time is as beautiful as a dream and people are reluctant to wake up. They still don't know that Lin Luoran has borne the essence, but it doesn't matter. No matter where Lin Luoran is in the world, because of her, her family can always be under her protection and enjoy the last pure land in the mortal world. Mom, big bird, big bird. 3-year-old Qin Nian points at Goldie in the garden. His eyes are wide open. He looks very much like Lu Sanchun, but his lines are much softer. He turns from an iron-blooded soldier into a cute little boy. Except with Lin Luoran, Goldie disdains to take the four-wheeled car. It is very fast and arrives at the Qin's villa earlier than anyone else. Mrs. Lu has a headache because of her son. She follows her son's eyes and sees a golden hawk on the fence of the garden. It is combing its golden feathers and looking at the intersection from time to time. It seems to be waiting for someone. Commander Qin sees Goldie upstairs. He laughs and goes downstairs. Granddaughter-in-law, we have a guest. Mrs. Lu holds Qin Nian in her arms. Guest? Is it the Golden Hawk? In response to her idea, several cars appear at the intersection. The windows are rolled down. Zheng Tian, who she is very familiar with, is in the front. As the second apprentice of the Lin family, Zheng Tian often helped his school brother Yuan Yi when Mrs. Lu was pregnant. The Lin family is here. Mrs. Lu holds Qin Nian in her arms and greets them. She has lived a rich life for several years and she has not lost her cautiousness. The Qin family is the support of the Lu family and the Lin family is also the support of the Qin family. Commander Qin is still as healthy as before. Mr. Lin holds his hands together. After greeting Commander Qin, Lin Luodong and the others go up to greet Commander Qin. Wei Shui also greets Commander Qin. Fatty has sharp eyes and recognizes Commander Qin as a former senior in the military of Huaxia. Well, Lin Luodong's family is really popular everywhere. Fatty is very proud of the decision he made in the past. It is certainly the right decision to integrate into this small group. As for the purpose of secretly sabotaging, he has already forgotten it. One is marked by the company one keeps. It is easy to lose the bad side of one's character and become more and more like the kind of person one once dreamed to be. Mrs. Lu goes to take care of the guests with her maid. Commander Qin waves his hand and tells her to call Lu Sanchun back with him. Commander Qin winks at Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin laughs. There is enough spirit wine. Not only the spirit wine, but the picky Lins also put a lot of homegrown fruits and vegetables in Mr. Lin's storage belt. Mrs. Lu can only take care of some meat. Ma Ming is still wondering what spirit wine is. Lin Luodong proposes to have a barbecue dinner tonight. Commander Qin remembers the wild boar meat in Qingqing Villa that year and his saliva begins to secrete unconsciously. However, there is no wild. This is even easier. Lin Luodong solemnly asks Goldie. After promising him endless benefits, the arrogant king finally bows to delicious food and agrees to be the hunter. Ma Ming is dizzy. However, even Wei Shui is used to it. Fatty is deeply disappointed and feels that he is excluded from a small circle. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian look at each other helplessly. In fact, it doesn't matter if they tell Ma Ming the truth. However, will Ma Ming be more arrogant after knowing that he has two powerful people behind him? Well, they can't expect everyone to have the same personality. If Ma Ming knows to keep a low profile one day, he will not be Ma Ming. Let's talk about it tonight. Lin Luodong promises. Fatty groans and reluctantly accepts this. The Qin family is bustling. Sister Rong has been trained to be a good housekeeper and her cooking skills have improved. The most important thing is that she has learned how to behave properly and takes the initiative to help. The barbecue rack has just been set up. Mrs. Lu is still arranging the charcoal, Rong is helping his sister to wash the fruit, and the teacher is busy. Lin Luodong dares not to be negligent. In the end, it becomes a labor meeting attended by everyone. Qin Nian, who is like a little bun, grabs Li Shi's skirt. They stare at each other for a while and Li Shi is defeated. As a cultivator in the level of laying foundation, she has to perform magic in front of Qin Nian. The sharp spell of gold is just for show, which makes everyone laugh. Goldie runs back and forth 3 times in less than an hour. The first time, he catches 2 hares. The second time, he catches 2 pheasants. The third time, he throws a deer in the yard. Commander Qin is embarrassed. What level is the Sika deer? Mr. Lin coughs and changes the topic. Let's go fishing together someday. Fishing in the clubs in the capital is boring. Where can we go fishing in the wild? Seeing that Commander Qin has changed the subject to talk about fishing with Mr. Lin, the rest of the people are relieved. Having a righteous elder in the family was really a test. The poor Sika deer is disemboweled and the hares and pheasants are turned into skewers. A long dining table is placed in the yard with all kinds of vegetables, meat, and cut fruits. Tonight, there is a lively buffet barbecue. Ma Ming takes a sip of spirit wine. He feels that the liquor he used to drink in the bar has become as good as dishwater. He is about to express his emotion when Qin Nian shouts at the intersection, "Dad, Dad is back." Lu Sanchun is usually busy. The happiest time for Qin Nian is when Lu Sanchun comes home. He waves at the intersection. Everyone follows his line of sight and they are all surprised. Lu Sanchun is not the only one who comes back. Lin Luoran, who hasn't seen her for a year, is very heartless, and Yuan Yi, who has been left at home and is full of resentment, are smiling at everyone. I didn't miss dinner, did I? Mrs. Lin lowers her head and wipes her tears. You are so heartless. Chapter 347. Lin Luoran feels that she has become a real big parent. As soon as she comes back, many people come to her and ask for her affection. Li Shi is a typical example. Lin Luoran has to stare at her. You are already a cultivator in the level of laying foundation. Mind your image, will you? Li Shi looks around to see who dares to laugh at her, a cultivator in the level of laying foundation. Yuan Yi and Xing Tian are both juniors, especially Yuan Yi. His fiancée has become a real school aunt. How sad it is. Practice hard. Practice hard. Yuan Yi cheers himself up silently. If he is not powerful enough, he will be embarrassed to pursue Li seriously. Lin's family is all here. This is the first time for Lin Luoran to meet Qin Nian, so she has to give him a gift. She now finds that a protective jade plate is perfect for juniors. She hangs a jade plate on Qin Nian's neck. Commander Qin knows it is a good thing, so how can others not know? Lin Luodong asks for a jade plate for Ma Ming and Wei Shui. Fortunately, Lin Luoran made a lot of them in the valley after bearing essence. Today, she gives them a big gift. Jade is really worthless in her eyes. It is a piece of cake for a cultivator in the level of bearing essence to make such a protective jade plate. It's not strange that Ma Ming and Wei Shui both have it. Rong is an ordinary person but he also needs protection. Sister Rong is a nanny. Seeing the beautiful jade in her hand, she obviously knows the value of it better than Ma Ming and Wei Shui since she has lived in Lin's family for more than a year. Because of Lin Luoran's sudden return, tonight's dinner is full of surprises. Goldie eats a lot of meat skewers grilled by its master, which makes others envious. In the dead of night, only Yuan Yi, Xing Tian, and Lin Luodong are left on the rooftop of the Qin's house. Lin Luoran wants to test their progress in personal ability enhancement. Yuan Yi encounters the first obstacle of personal ability enhancement. He is not short of Reiki, but he still can't break through the middle stage of training Qi and enter the late stage of training Qi. Xing Tian catches up with him. He is very talented in sword spells. He has successfully entered the middle stage of training Qi half a month ago. As for Lin Luodong, he is struggling with his personal ability in the early stage of training Qi. However, Lin Luoran doesn't think it is a problem. She doesn't wait for her 2 apprentices and her brother to fight in the front line. The more solid their foundation is, the farther they can go in the future. That is why Lin Luodong asked Luodong to wait until he was 18 years old to cultivate. Yuan Yi, you learn both swordsmanship and alchemy. Have you ever thought about specializing in one? In Lin's opinion, Yuan Yi can't make a breakthrough because of his state of mind. Of course, cultivators could have many hobbies, but a person's energy was limited in the early stage. Without a long lifespan as a foundation, it would be easier to have a smooth journey if one specialized in one. Yuan Yi is suddenly enlightened. In fact, he loves the Tao of Bolus the most. However, he sees that Zheng Tian is obsessed with the Tao of swordsmanship. As the eldest school brother, he is responsible for the safety of the school in the future. He can't just focus on the Tao of Bolus. Such a contradictory mood makes his personal ability stagnate. Seeing that Zheng Tian has finally made up his mind, Lin Luoran suddenly uses her hand as a sword and Wakan as the blade. She attacks Zheng Tian. Zheng Tian is very sensitive to sword intent. Although he is in a hurry, he can still avoid it. Lin Luoran shows mercy to Zheng Tian and this attack is mixed with a lot of strength. Zheng Tian can barely avoid it with his personal ability in the middle stage of training qi. Even Lin Luoran has to admit that some people in this world may be really geniuses in a certain field. I have checked the material sent by Wen Guanjing last time. There is a piece of red gold iron. It should be enough to make a flying sword. Zheng Tian is so excited that he almost jumps up. Lin Luoran is talking to him. Is he going to have a flying sword? A flying sword that belongs to him. Thank you, Grandmaster. Lin Luodong shows 2 simple spells of the earth. The single Taoist root gives him a natural affinity to the earth. Lin Luoran can't find anything wrong with him. She can only encourage him to work hard. Sister, when I move to a new house, I will definitely cultivate harder. Lin Luoran laughs. Luodong, cultivation is not the only thing left in our lives. Well, let's talk about that rumored girlfriend of yours. Lin Luodong's ears turn red. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian look at him as if saying, we all know, and then runs away. How can he have a rumored girlfriend? It's so strange. Who spread the rumor? If he knows it, he will beat the rumormonger up. Huang Weijian sneezes heavily. It's so strange. Who is talking about him behind his back? Ma Ming's eyes are shining with inexplicable heat, which makes Huang Weijian feel creepy. Do you mean that you, Lin Luodong, and even his family are all cultivators who can fly? No wonder the Lin family is so beautiful. Lin Luodong's sister is so beautiful that she will never age. It turns out that she is really a fairy. Huang Weijian shakes his head. Strictly speaking, we can't fly with our own strength before we reach the level of laying foundation. Ma Ming waves his hand. That's not the point. The point is that you two are obviously the most powerful cultivators in the legend. How dare you ask me to be the vanguard in every fight? Huang Weijian is speechless. The little fatty always can't find the point. At this time, it is normal for him to show an expression of being cheated by his good brother. He is still thinking about the fight they had before. Every time we fight, you provoke others first. Of course, I ask you to be the vanguard. Huang Weijian explains calmly. Ma Ming suddenly grabs Huang's sleeve and smiles flatteringly. In fact, that's not the point. The point is, what is this jade plate for? Huang Weijian is flustered by Ma Ming's gleaming eyes, so he covers it up for him. He makes a cut on Ma Ming's hand and squeezes 2 drops of blood on the jade plate. Watching the blood being absorbed by the jade plate, the fatty's eyes become brighter. Then Huang Weijian waves his hand and throws a vase at Ma Ming. In the eyes of the fatty, the jade plate emits a faint light and the vase is smashed into pieces on the wall. Haha, I knew it was a magic weapon. It was a magic weapon. Ma Ming's wild laughter comes from the guest room of the Qin family. Huang Weijian finally can't stand the illiterate man who has read too many YY novels. He covers his ears and kicks Ma out of his room. As a college student, Luodong and Huang have to go to class. For everyone, it is a happy thing that Luodong and Huang took away the little fatty who has been laughing crazily. Since they have nothing to do, the Lin family decides to have a tour around the capital. Commander Qin doesn't want them to stay in a hotel, so he just stays at the Qin family's house. During this period, even Pei Yuan comes over. He has just passed the political background check and can only do odd jobs with alien technology, which is enough to make Pei Yuan crazy with excitement. Sure enough, career is the best medicine for love. Pei Yuan is full of energy again. When he talks about the dazzling spaceship in front of Lin Luoran, Lin feels that his eyes are shining. Sister Rong has washed away the smell of a delinquent girl. She is a young beauty now. Lin Luoran notices that Pei is secretly looking at her. Do they still have a chance? Sister Rong comes to ask for leave. She only says that her boyfriend is also in the capital. Lin Luoran approves with pleasure. She turns around and grabs Rong Donglin. She asks, "Your unreliable brother-in-law hasn't been replaced yet?" The honest director Rong is in tears and doesn't know what to say. Zheng Tian sneers. Yang said that the guy is really a wily old fox. You don't want us to hurt him. Seeing that Sister Rong is getting rich, he pretends to be positive. However, Grandmaster, a person's eyes can't deceive you. He is very cunning. Lin Luoran frowns. The collapse of a great embankment is caused by an ant's nest. Sometimes a small figure can overturn the whole situation. Don't be too relaxed. Even if he is an ordinary person, if Sister Rong is deeply involved with the Lin family, her unreliable boyfriend will have a chance to threaten Lin's family. Lin is very selfish and she would rather measure the heart of a villain with her own mean measure. Zheng Tian nods. I see. Rong Donglin is relieved. He is more suitable to study. He is really not good at dealing with family affairs. However, wasn't he the luckiest person among the tens of thousands of students who came from humble backgrounds when he got to know Senior Sister Lin? Anyone who has Lin Luoran as a friend must feel at ease. She is so nice to her friends. Lin Luoran's friends are at ease. Sometimes, she finds that her relatives, who almost disappeared in her memory, suddenly appear at some unexpected moment. For example, Fatty Chui received a call from his third aunt. She said that his cousin was in trouble. The last call from Fatty Chui was to inform his cousin, whom she hadn't seen for more than 10 years, to save him. When Fatty Chui became a live-in son-in-law, the Chui family felt embarrassed. Fatty Chui was so protective of his wife that he didn't contact his family anymore. He didn't become a live-in son-in-law for the sake of living off a woman. The problem was that the Wang family only had one daughter and Wang Miao's parents didn't agree to their marriage. Although Fatty Chui later earned his family business as well as the Wang family with his own efforts, he was still not close to his family because of the misunderstanding in the early years. However, his little cousin used to play with mud behind him with a runny nose. Fatty Chui can't ignore him. Fatty Chui calms down and asks his third aunt, "What else did my cousin say?" His third aunt, who doesn't have a good memory, remembers after a long time that her son has repeatedly said that he works in a special department. Is there any important meaning? Fatty Chui pats his head. He knows that as a businessman, he can't do anything. Of course, he has heard of the special department. It turns out that he went around in a big circle to ask the Lin family for help. Fatty Chui has to go to the Lin family shamelessly. The locked door shows that the owner is not at home. Fatty Chui makes a phone call and learns the truth. What? Sister Lin is back. Fatty Chui is relieved. Since Lin Luoran can help him, even the King of Hell can't take his snot-nosed cousin away. Time waits for no man. Fatty Chui flies to the capital that night. Miss Chui, who is 10 years old and about to enter the 5th grade of primary school, insists on going with him. Her brother Luodong must be wanted by many people in the capital. She has to keep a close eye on him. The couple can't do anything about their daughter, so the trip for help turns into a tour group of 3 going to the capital. Money is endless. Chui Wanlu can't spend all of Fatty Chui's and Wang Miao's properties. Family happiness is the most important thing for Chui Wanlu. Although I didn't reply to all the comments in the book review and comments section, I have read them carefully. It is Po's blessing to have such support. Chapter 348. You mean they were sent to Neon for a mission and we haven't heard from them for half a month? Chui Hejian is one of them, right? Well, send me the specific information later. Lin puts down the phone and confirms Fatty Chui's words with Qin Yun. She is not happy about this news. Fatty Chui says with a sullen face, Sister Lin, my cousin is the only one in the Chui family who hasn't gotten married yet. He is the last hope of carrying on the family line. You have to help me. As soon as Fatty Chui finishes his words, Wang Miao slaps him. Is your daughter not your own? Fatty Chui knows that he has said something wrong and he runs away like a rat. Lin ignores the couple who are over 50 years old but still behave like children. Instead, she looks at Chui Wanlu, who is playing truant in the yard with Qin Yan and the little boy. Lucy, who is 10 years old this year, already has Wang Miao's features. Lucy is not as chubby as she was when she was a child. Lucy is a pretty little girl now. This is not the point. The point is that when Chui Wanlu plays with Qin Yan in the pond, Lin can sense that the water Reiki molecules are lingering around Chui Wanlu. Chui Wanlu doesn't want to let go of Reiki molecules in the pond. Wang Miao and Fatty Chui are ordinary people without the Taoist root. Lucy is 8 years old, but no one in the Lin family wants to test her Taoist root. Now it seems that there is a surprise. Since Fatty Chui has a cousin working in a special department, it is possible that there are other people with the Taoist root in the Chui family. Lucy, come here. I want to talk to you. Lin waves to Chui Wanlu. Chui Wanlu leads Qin Yan to the school like a big sister. She corrects Qin Yan's bad habit of holding his fingers in his mouth. Aunt Lin, what can I do for you? Does Aunt Lin finally agree to take her to the school to see Luodong? Chui Wanlu's eyes are shining. Girls are so mature now. Lin has a headache. She pulls Chui Wanlu aside and turns her fingers. A mist covers the little girl. Qin Yan curiously wanted to touch the white mist that was shrinking and retracting. As soon as his little finger touched it, it froze. The little boy's military bloodline was not shown at all, and he started crying. Lin Luoran picks him up and says, don't move. Your sister Chui will come out soon. Wang Miao and her husband both stop and stare at Chui Wanlu. They don't know what Lin has done to their daughter, but they know that Lin would never hurt Chui Wanlu. Sister Lin, this is. Fatty Chui rubs his hands. Obviously, he wants to know more about the gossip, but he is holding back. His expression is so funny. Lin Luoran is about to answer when Chui Wanlu comes out of the fog. Auntie Lin, what is this? It's more comfortable than a hot spring. When Qin Yan touched it, he was so cold that he cried, but for Chui Wanlu, it was like taking a hot spring bath. Sure enough, it was just as she had guessed. Lin Luoran turns to Wang Miao and smiles, Sister Wang, do you mind if the Lin family and the Wang family get married? Fatty Chui sneezes, Sister Lin, it's not popular to have a baby marriage. Both Lin Luoran and Wang Miao ignore Fatty Chui, who has a different brain structure. Wang Miao is a little bit stunned, Sister Lin, do you mean that Wanlu? Lin Luoran nods, she has a single water foundation. Even if she doesn't marry into the Lin family, the world of cultivation will fight for her. Fatty Chui is stunned. At this critical moment, Wang Miao makes a prompt decision, even if she has a single water foundation, she has to marry into the Lin family. Sister, it's a deal. Chui Wanlu, come here and greet your master. Master? Chui Wanlu blinks her eyes. How come Auntie Lin becomes her master after a short conversation? Does it mean that Luodong will become her master? With Yuan Ye's example, Chui Wanlu clings to Lin Luoran's thigh. Master, please accept my greeting. When the Lin family comes back in the evening, they are very happy to hear that Cui Wanlu has become Lin Luoran's third apprentice. Zheng Tian, who has been the number 2 for a long time, suddenly has a little school sister. He smiles from ear to ear. Little school sister, what do you want? I'll buy it for you tomorrow. Zheng Tian pats his chest and promises. Yuan Yi corrects, it's the second school brother. Ah, little school sister, how about I teach you magic? After kicking away 2 unruly apprentices, Lin Luoran squats down and asks Cui Wanlu, sorry, I didn't ask for your opinion this morning. We made the decision for you. Lucy, as an equal, I ask you, are you willing to cultivate? Are you willing to cultivate? Aunt Lin, will cultivation make you very powerful? Yes. Aunt Lin, I heard that cultivators can live for many years. Is it true? Yes. Cui Wanlu smiles sweetly, Grandmaster, I'm willing to cultivate. The rescue operation is urgent. Lin Luoran has to put aside the new apprentice and the plan to refine a flying sword for Zheng Tian. Instead of Qin Yun's information, Wen Guanjing, a mobile database, arrives. Wen Guanjing hasn't seen Lin Luoran for several years. The first thing he says is, Sister Lin, why do I feel that you have become more powerful? He thought that he was getting closer to Lin Luoran in the level of laying foundation. However, he still can't see through Lin Luoran's cultivation. Lin Luoran doesn't want to hide it from him, I have borne the essence not long ago. She not only tells the truth to Wen Guanjing, but also drops a heavy bomb on the world of cultivation in Huaxia. Apart from Lin Luoran's mysterious master, Lin Luoran is the first cultivator to bear the essence under their watch in the past hundreds of years. Everyone thinks that cultivators in the level of bearing essence can only struggle in the later stage of laying foundation like Huizhu. However, it never occurs to them that Lin Luoran can bear the essence after more than 10 years of cultivation. Lin Luoran's achievement makes people jealous. However, Lin Luoran has laid a solid foundation for many cultivators in Huaxia. Even if Lin Luoran has some unknown adventures, she is not a talented female cultivator. Everyone has witnessed her every advancement. Why can't they have the chance to lay foundation and even become cultivators in the level of bearing essence? Even if they don't have adventures, they still have to work hard. If they are not talented enough, they have to work harder. When this inspiring news spread, the eyes of many cultivators, who adhered to the principle that men should not easily shed tears, became slightly wet. Since Master Lin can break the curse that no one in the world of cultivation in Huaxia can reach the level of bearing essence, doesn't it mean that they, a group of young cultivators struggling in the primitive age of spells, are not completely abandoned by the Tao of Heaven? However, this is a story for later. At this moment, Wen Guanjing sighs in his mind and proposes to Lin Luoran, Sister Lin, when are we leaving? Lin Luoran looks around. All the Lin family members are looking at her eagerly. Lin Luodong's personal ability is too low for him to go with them. Even Zheng Tian, who doesn't even have a proper weapon, is not a consideration. Yuan Yi is thoughtful, so he can go with them. As for Mr. Lin, as a daughter, she can't stop her father. The team to go to Japan is decided. Mr. Lin, Li Shi, Wen Guanjing, Yuan Yi, and Goldie. Lin Luodong doesn't want to give up. However, Huang Weijian's personal ability is higher than his and he is not chosen. He feels much better. He looks at Huang Weijian. Under his friend's indifferent face, there is some slyness. Lin Luodong is stunned for a moment, but he doesn't say anything. Fatty Cui is so happy that he is going to book the plane tickets for them. One cultivator in the level of bearing essence, 2 cultivators in the level of laying foundation, plus Mr. Lin, Yuan Yi, and the mysterious hawk of Huaxia. In Fatty Cui's opinion, such a team can even destroy the shrine of Japan. Of course, it is not a problem to save his cousin. The flight from the capital to Tokyo takes 5 hours. Lin Luoran feels that it is a waste of time. She decides to cross the sea. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi are carried by Goldie. Lin Luoran and Li Shi, are riding on the sword. Wen Guanjing also knows how to ride on the sword. They can arrive at Tokyo in less than an hour. Can you tell the direction in the air? To be safe, Lin Luoran asks Wen Guanjing. Wen Guanjing is a captain who has traveled all over the world. He is good at telling longitude and latitude. He nods and takes out a watch-like thing. 138, 4 to 139. 8 degrees east and 34. 8 to 36, 2 degrees north. We will meet the logistics team in Tokyo first, and then we will go to Mount Fuji. Lin Luoran nods and summons the bright sword. She drags Li Shi to stand on the long and smooth flying sword. Goldie returns to its original shape from the size of an eagle. Its wings cover the entire roof of the Qin's house. It is more than enough for Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi to stand on it. When Wen Guanjing is ready, Lin Luoran throws out 2 mini-worlds to cover them. They disappear under the blue sky. 10-year-old Cui Wanlu is looking forward to it. Zheng Tian stomps his feet. Lin Luodong winks at Huang Weijian, Grandpa Qin, Brother Cui, we have classes in the afternoon. We have to go now. They walk away with their arms around each other's shoulders. Before they leave the community, Huang Weijian takes out his mobile phone to book tickets. Yes, the fastest flight from the capital to Tokyo. Well, 2 business class tickets. Lin Luodong punches him hard on his back. I will beat up anyone who says that you are being honest. You two are the most dishonest. Cui Wanlu's voice comes from behind. Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran find that there is a little girl following them. Cui Wanlu says proudly, if you don't take me there, I will report you. Lin Luodong is in a dilemma. He and Huang Weijian have already committed crimes against the public. If they take Cui Wanlu, who has no personal ability and is only 10 years old, with them, Lin Luoran knows that his sister won't get angry easily. Huang Weijian doesn't see Lin Luoran's face. He says to Cui Wanlu calmly, let's go back to school and pack. Cui Wanlu was so excited that she held their hands and skipped away. Chapter 349. As an urban area that is the same as Shinjuku as the 24-hour sleepless street, Shibuya Station Loyal Dog Hachiko exit is full of famous department stores, fashion stores, restaurants, coffee shops, custom facilities, etc., which are densely packed and popular with young people, making Shibuya a place for various popular events in and out of Japan. It has been half an hour since Lin Luoran and others arrived at Shibuya Tokyu's St. Roland Tower Hotel. Overlooking from the 37th floor, one could see the flow of people on the streets of Shibuya like ants. Lin Qingxue serves warm coffee to everyone. No one in the Lin family can get used to this bitter drink. They all take a sip to show respect to Lin Qingxue. As a female officer of special forces, Lin Qingxue can only be the leader of the logistics team in this operation. The vanguards are all young cultivators. Lin Luoran doesn't know how serious the situation is until she arrives. There were also a few old acquaintances who had disappeared this time. Cultivator Yi Xiaobei, Mu Tiannan's 6th brother, and Fatty Chui's cousin Cui Hejian are all missing. You mean, a large number of young men and women disappeared in Shibuya, so you were sent to investigate? Lin Luoran's fingers slide over the edge of the cup. The coffee is still steaming. What does the disappearance of the young man from Shibuya have to do with Huaxia? Everyone can tell that Lin Luoran is unhappy. Lin Luoran, who has been called a narrow-minded nationalist by her politics teacher, is not interested in the so-called international aid. Especially when it came to international aid to the extent that their own people would be trapped. That was too ridiculous. Lin Qingxue salutes, Miss Lin, I'd like to report to you that the missing people include a Huaxia tour group of 20 people who came to Shibuya, and 9 international students. Lin Luoran frowns, where are these cultivators? How many days have they been missing? 3 days ago, cultivator Cui Hejian made a long-distance call back to the country, requesting for help. 3 days ago, Cui Hejian made an international call. Isn't that the phone call to Fatty Chui for help? Lin Luoran feels that the situation is worse than she imagined. Why didn't Chui Hejian call for help to the logistics team? Why didn't he call Chen Yun? Maybe it was because the situation was so bad that even if the special department sent reinforcements, it would be useless. Lin stands by the window and looks down at the passers-by on the street. This was indeed a paradise for young people. There were all kinds of strange clothes and dazzling colors. More than 80% of the crowd on the streets were young people. Are the disappearances still going on? Lin Qingxue nods. Every evening at 7:00, no matter how closely we and the Nihanese people monitor, something will happen. When Guanjing smiles, then we have to guard this place. Since it has become so big, there must be cultivators from Neon involved, right? As soon as he finishes his words, Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows and laughs. What a coincidence. It seems that we have guests. Even when Guanjing and Li Shi can sense the breath which is different from that of Huaxia cultivators. A few minutes later, the logistician comes to report that a member of a shrine from Neon has come to negotiate. Let them in. A few men dressed in traditional Japanese clothing filed in. The leader was a middle-aged man with eyes as sharp as swords. His temples were slightly white and his face was serious. At first glance, one could tell that he was a person who held a lot of power. He has long felt a strong coercion shrouding the hotel. He thought that some old monster from Huaxia came to Shibuya, so he restrained his subordinates along the way to be cautious. He even thought that it might be the bearing essence cultivator who was exposed in Huaxia in recent years. However, when he entered the room, he found that such a strong breath was emitted by a woman who looked in her early 20s. Saito Asada's fear turns into shock. Almost at the same time, he realizes that this seemingly weak woman is Lin Luoran, the rising star of the world of cultivation in Huaxia. Senior cultivator. Facing Lin Luoran, who is already the mainstay of the world of cultivation in Huaxia at such a young age, Saito Asada has to put away his arrogance and lower his chin. Senior cultivator. Several Nihanese people salute together. Lin Luoran smiles and says to the people around her, "Where are you from?" "I don't know you." Saito Asada's resolute chin shakes. "I am the 17th master of the Asada family. I serve as the guard of the shrine." The Asada family? This family name doesn't leave a good impression on Lin Luoran. It always reminds her of Cyan Little Fox who hasn't returned home yet. Sakurako Asada, are you? Saito Asada is a little uneasy. "Yes, it's my daughter. Sakurako went out on a trip a few years ago and hasn't returned home yet." Senior cultivator, do you have anything to tell her? Lin Luoran sneers secretly. Went out on a trip. She must have come to Huaxia to covet the treasures of the Green Mountains. However, in this case, there is no news about Sakurako Asada. The stupid fox should not have encountered an accident. On the night of Bermuda in the past, I met your daughter once. Miss Sakurako left a deep impression on me. Lin Luoran's comments are vague, so Saito Asada doesn't dare to answer. The atmosphere is very awkward for a while. Saito Asada breaks the awkwardness and asks how to deal with this incident. Lin Luoran only says everyone has their own responsibilities, which makes Saito Asada a little disappointed. Several Nihanese people soon leave. Lin Qingxue boldly asks, "Miss Lin, why don't you cooperate with them?" It is the nature of soldiers to obey orders and complete orders at all costs. Lin Qingxue's order at this time is to cooperate with Lin Luoran and others to rescue the lost Huaxia cultivators. In her opinion, cooperating with the local Nihanese forces can improve the combat effectiveness of both sides. Why not? Lin Luoran doesn't speak. When Guanjing gives Lin Qingxue a shushing look. Among all the people here, maybe only he can understand some of Lin Luoran's thoughts. They only care about saving Huaxia people. Even if they cooperate with Nihanese cultivators, it will be counterproductive if they are on guard against each other. In this world, some forces are destined not to trust each other because of historical reasons. Huaxia and Neon are such a situation. Lin Luoran sees that there is an awkward silence because of her. She easily invites everyone to take a medicinal bath in the hotel and wait for the arrival of the strange 7 o'clock. Lin Luoran's relaxed attitude dispels a lot of haze in everyone's mind. One bearing essence cultivator and 2 laying foundation cultivators are already an unprecedentedly powerful lineup. Thinking of this, they feel that the unclear road ahead is a little bit foggy. Lord, is the woman just now Miss Lin? Because of Lin Luoran's too important position, the neon world of personal ability has long called her Miss Lin. Saito Asada nods, yes. I suspect that she has broken through the bearing essence realm of Huaxia's personal ability. What an enviable talent. Because they are not far from the hotel, he does not dare to speak casually. She is more than a talent that makes people jealous. There is such a cultivator in Huaxia who has made successive breakthroughs in just a few years. If the Japanese world of cultivation has such strength, they should destroy her. Saito Asada looks at the Holy Rotorunta Hotel with deep regret. It is a pity that she is a woman. What's more, she is a Huaxia woman. Lord, since Miss Lin has no intention of cooperation, what should we do? Saito Asada smiles, go back to the Taisha. Yes. The Taisha, mentioned by Saito Asada, is the Hangu Sengen Taisha Shrine, on the top of Mount Fuji. It is a place to worship the gods of Mount Fuji. Above Mount Fuji, nearly 4 million square meters of land outside the mountaineering road and the meteorological observatory belongs to this shrine. Land is scarce in Neon. From here, we can see the status of Hangu Sengen Taisha Shrine. Several people walk on the streets of Shibuya. Young people in weird and fashionable clothes can't help but avoid these people in formal clothes. The busy downtown will not stop for anyone. The flow of people soon returns to normal. Young people are tireless and they don't know that time is approaching. Every evening at 7 o'clock, some of them may become a page of the missing persons file. For young people in Shibuya who yearn for freedom, maverick and imitated by others, the detailed events of their lives are just extremely small things that can be described on a piece of A4 paper. If they know that death is so simple, will they still waste those wasted time? On the train to Shizuoka Prefecture, 2 slightly tired Huaxia teenagers choose a seat by the window. It is an extended evening. It is 49 minutes away from 7 o'clock in Tokyo time. Lin Luodong rubs his eyes and smiles easily, you are really good. You even gave Lucy to Wei Shui. When we go back, they will probably fight. Huang Weijian doesn't answer. He looks out of the window. The high-speed train cuts the countryside of Neon into pieces. He sees the snow on the top of Mount Fuji in the distance. 7 or 8 hours ago, they were still on the other side of the ocean. Now they are on the train to Shizuoka Prefecture. Huang Weijian's expectation under his calm appearance is no less than that of Lin Luodong. No matter what, this was an adventure that belonged to the 2 youths. However, sometimes because they are too young, they often misjudge the degree of danger. This is the true meaning of life that everyone has to pay for many times to learn. Chapter 350. The hour hand points to 6:50 in Tokyo time. Neon's medicinal bath is also very famous in the world. After taking a bath and eating the dinner carefully cooked by the hotel chef, there are only 10 minutes left before the strange 7 o'clock, mentioned by Lin Qingxue. Lin Luoran leads everyone to take the elevator and go straight to the rooftop. Looking down from here, Lin Luoran can have a panoramic view of the tall buildings in Shibuya. She tries to cover the people below with her spiritual mind. The spiritual mind of a bearing essence cultivator is much more powerful than that of a laying foundation cultivator. If she wants, she can extend it to 50 kilometers away. This distance is not enough to cover the whole Shibuya area, but it can cover most of the bustling places where young people gather. Lin Luoran is worried that such a big fanfare will make the person behind the scenes afraid to show up. After thinking about it, she decides to negotiate with Li Shi, and Wen Guanjing. Li Shi's bundling rope stretches endlessly. With the help of the bundling rope, which is like a fishing line, she quietly floats between the buildings above people's heads like a fairy from the ninth heaven. She quickly occupies the far west of Lin Luoran. When Guanjing flies away with his sword and occupies a building in the east. The three of them keep watch from a distance and occupy the whole Shibuya area in an iron triangle. If the Black Hand was able to kidnap someone under the noses of the three of them, then things would be much more troublesome. Time is approaching. Although Lin Qingxue has seen many big scenes, she still feels that the ticking of the second hand on her wrist is like a countdown bomb. She can't help peeping at Lin Luoran, who is standing on the edge of the rooftop. It seems that she will be blown away by the strong wind at any time. From the appearance, how can people know that she is a powerful female cultivator? However, Lin Qingxue admires Lin Luoran's calmness from the bottom of her heart. This is the heart of the real strong, isn't it? Lin Luoran doesn't know what Lin Qingxue is thinking. Compared with the nervousness of others, she is actually a little absent-minded. It is said that cultivators with single Taoist root are rare geniuses in thousands of years. However, their cultivation speed is much faster than that of ordinary cultivators, and their spells are just so. For example, Li Shi, who has reached the level of laying foundation, can't even use the most basic, wind-riding spell, in the level of laying foundation without a flying magic weapon. Then, when he reached the late stage of cultivation, the nascent soul realm, or even beyond that, was the single Taoist root really that useful? In a trance, Lin Luoran feels that the Taoist root of the 5 elements, which is regarded as a waste cultivator, is the most suitable for the reincarnation of nature. Lin Luoran herself feels a little funny. With the Taoist root of the 5 elements, except for people like her who have a cheating device in their hands, it is difficult for people to advance their personal ability in the heyday of spells. Without a long life as support, it is just a joke to explore the Tao of Heaven. Lin Luoran puts aside this whimsical question and forces herself to focus on something else. In her wide spiritual mind, she can sense that Goldie, who is connected to her by blood, is waiting quietly on the rooftop of the seemingly unguarded building in the south. In the streets of Shibuya, in addition to many Nihonese cultivators and policemen, there are also logistics members of the rescue team led by Lin Qingxue. These special forces soldiers could only serve as logistics in the rescue team, but in their field, every one of them was a powerhouse in individual combat. Even Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi pretend to be ordinary people and walk around in the crowded places. There is no foolproof security measures in the world. Lin Luoran also knows that it is very dangerous. However, whether it is Mr. Lin or Yuan Yi, their personal ability enhancement is very long. Lin Luoran can't guarantee that they will never be in danger. Only in crisis can one grow up. Lin Luoran silently cheers for her father and apprentice. It is 1 minute to 7 o'clock. In the evening, the lights in Shibuya are on and it is very lively. Danger may be approaching, but at this time, there is nothing unusual. 1 second, 2 seconds, there is no trace of special power. Lin Luoran feels a little uneasy. Half an hour ago, Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian get off at Shizuoka Station with travel bags. Although it is a prefecture, Shizuoka is really not worse than some big cities in China. Shizuoka Prefecture has an international trade port called Shimizu Port, which injects vitality into the economy of Shizuoka. If the economy is good, the popularity will not be bad. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian are pushed out of the station by the crowd. At the entrance of the station, they bump into a group of 10 Nihonese youths. A Nihonese boy mutters a few Nihonese words that the two can't understand. They don't want to cause trouble in front of so many people, so they want to go their own way. However, a round-faced girl tentatively asks, "Hey, are you from Huaxia?" She speaks Huaxia perfectly. Seeing Lin Luodong stop, she knows that they understand. The round-faced girl is a little happy to meet her compatriots. "Hello, my name is Huang Wan. I am an international student at the Sacred Heart Women's University. These people are from Aoyama Gakuin University." Huang Wan looks a little sly when she smiles, which doesn't quite match her appearance. Even though they have the same surname, Huang Weijian is not interested. However, Lin Luodong is a polite and considerate person. Since they are compatriots, they have to talk to each other. It turns out that these young people from Shibuya are also going to Mount Fuji. Lin Luodong is a little embarrassed. I heard that Mount Fuji is not peaceful these days. Huang Wan, do you want to go somewhere else? They meet by chance. Although Lin Luodong is kind enough to remind Huang Wan, these Nihanese students can't help but feel a little angry. Mount Fuji is their holy mountain. It has a special position in the hearts of every Nihanese. Lin Luodong says that Mount Fuji is not peaceful, which makes them feel embarrassed. These people are all male students of Aoyama Gakuin University. It is not easy for them to have a get-together with the girls of the Sacred Heart Women's University. They will not easily give up their plan. Lin Luodong sees that persuasion is useless, so he has to give up. After chatting with Huang Wan for a while, he and Huang Weijian disappear into the crowd. Behind them comes some Nihanese that they can't understand. The two teenagers don't want to talk to these young people from Shibuya anymore. They get on the direct minibus to the foot of Mount Fuji. The female student named Huang Wan seems to know Kung Fu. She doesn't know about the abnormality of Mount Fuji. Of course, you told her. She may encourage these Nihanese students to explore with her. You are such a good person. Don't be sad. Huang Weijian plays with his bald pen. His words are so mean that Lin Luodong wants to kick him off the bus. That being said, even the last group of cultivators can't solve the disappearance this time. What can ordinary Kung Fu do? Thinking of this, Lin Luodong is a little scared. If my sister knows that we came secretly, she will be angry, right? Huang Weijian stops playing with the bald pen. Thinking of Sister Lin, whose personal ability is getting higher and higher, he is also a little uncertain about the consequences of them coming here without permission. He coughs twice. They may have already gone up the mountain. We will admit our mistakes later. At most, we will be scolded. What are you afraid of? Lin Luodong knows that Huang Weijian won't say things without a reason. He is a little relieved and even thinks to himself that they can play cute for a while. When Lin Luoran finds out that they secretly follow, it will be easy to let go of this matter. The two bold teenagers have never thought that when they arrive at the foot of Mount Fuji, Lin Luoran and the Lin family are still defending in Shibuya. Many twists and turns in this world are caused by such inconspicuous accidents. Not long after they got out of the car, two cars roared past them, and the laughter of the Nihanese students came. Huang Wan's apologetic face flashed in the rolled-down window, and the two cars soon left them far behind. There are not many people in the evening. The climbing path they choose is really quiet. Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian don't know whether to laugh or cry at this inexplicable demonstration. They originally want to ignore them, but God is against them. Suddenly, there is a sudden breaking sound in front of them. In the surprised eyes of the two teenagers, the two cars of arrogant students scream and suddenly become silent. There is nothing on the road. Why are they screaming? The teenagers who don't know anything don't notice that the time when the breaking sound is exactly 7:00 in Tokyo. Lin Luodong has a bad feeling. He and Huang Weijian look at each other and run to catch up. They don't care about these Nihanese students. However, Huang Wan is a Huaxia compatriot. If Lin Luoran knows that they leave their compatriot in danger without saving her, they may be more guilty than sneaking here. Lin Luodong even smiles. Isn't this a living opportunity to make up for their mistakes? God really favors them. Huang Weijian, who has a higher personal ability, is not so optimistic. The closer he gets to the two cars that break in the middle of the road, his heart has already sunk. Inside the car, it is clearly, the character, Huang Wan, of Cat Daodu has appeared. Scattering flowers. Chapter 351. It's 7:00 in Tokyo time. 5 minutes have passed, and every block in Shibuya is lively and orderly. There is nothing unusual. Did they really scare away the manipulator behind the scenes? Lin Luoran purses her lips tightly. She always feels that they may have overlooked some key factors. Where is it? There is a sudden commotion in front of the department store. Many plainclothes are dispatched, and other cultivators form a circle around the chaotic place. However, after pressing a young man with dyed yellow hair to the ground, they find that he is just a thief who is found by the owner of the store for making a scene in front of the department store. Both the Huaxia people and the Nihonese police are disappointed. This is really an ordinary thief. No one is trying to create chaos to fish in troubled waters. The night wind blows Lin Luoran's skirt. The bright neon lights are reflected in her eyes. Lin Qingxue can feel the low pressure from her. The communicator on Lin Qingxue's wrist suddenly rings. She presses a button, and a virtual image of a computer screen is projected in front of her. This is a gadget derived from the research of Yuli technology in Huaxia. It is an encrypted 3D audio and video transmission that cannot be intercepted. If it leaves the wrist of the user without the uninstall password, it will explode within 3 seconds. Lin Qingxue is obviously surprised by the content of the video. She chooses to invite her companions to watch it. In this way, Lin Luoran can also see the content of the video and hear the sound. Before she has time to marvel at the progress of technology, she frowns because of the content of the video. Under the orange street lights, 2 cars rushing on the mountain road suddenly scream. The sound of sudden braking pierces the tranquility of the mountains. The picture changes. 2 extremely fast figures run to the accident car. Their figures are so fast that their faces are blurred in the video. Lin Luoran has already felt that they are familiar. Lin Qingxue pauses the picture and zooms in on the faces of the 2 people. Lin Luoran feels that the uneasiness she has been feeling is finally reflected. This is clearly Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian. If it were an ordinary Huaxia parent, he would be dizzy with anger and scold the 2 disobedient teenagers. However, in Lin Luoran's opinion, even if she wants to beat them up, she should find the culprit first. This was a video clip that was only a few dozen seconds long. It started with the sudden scream in the driveway, the sudden braking, and the 2 teenagers pouncing in the direction of the car. The video ended abruptly. Miss Lin, the video was shot on the second section of Kawaguchi Pass of Mount Fuji at 1900 hours Tokyo time. The time when the video was received was 1905 Tokyo time. There is a 99% chance that the member of the logistics team who shot the video is dead. If he was still alive, there was no way he would have waited 5 minutes for this important video to be sent back. This was probably an automatic message sent by the communicator 5 minutes after the owner's pulse stopped beating. As a Special Forces soldier, Lin Qingxue has seen her comrades die around her. Her eyes are still wet at this moment. The teammate who controls the number 2 road is Hang Kuan, her friend for 8 years. Lin Luoran can feel the sadness of the female soldiers. 99% chance of death. This should be the cautiousness of soldiers. The logistics special force soldier who recorded the video and sent it back is almost certain that he is dead, as Lin Qingxue said. What happened before he died? Are Luodong and Huang still alive? Time is pressing. Lin Luoran only says, "Sort out his information and give it to me." Then she flies to Mount Fuji on her sword. What she can say is only these feeble words of comfort. Even if she compensates the Special Force soldier's family later, how can she get a fresh life back? Lin Luoran is not a saint. However, when she thinks that an unknown soldier sent back the news of Luodong and Huang Weijian at the cost of his life, she can't be indifferent as if she doesn't know it. This soldier gave her brother a chance to survive. People are not plants. After a long time of getting along with Luodong, even Huang Weijian, who is awkward with her, is no less important than Luodong in the Lin family. When flying over the building, Li Shi entangles the bright sword with the bundling rope and jumps on it. Seeing Lin Luoran's serious look, she has already guessed that something serious has happened. When Guanjing also follows on his sword, leaving Yuan Yi and Mr. Lin in the crowd. Having no time to shock the world, he asks Goldie to dive down. The two of them sit on Goldie's back in the crowded street of Shibuya and disappear into the sky. Goldie spreads its 10-meter-long wings, which make a huge impact on everyone present. Lin Qingshua's communicator rings again. This cautious female soldier is hurt by the pain of losing her comrade in arms. She receives the order to go to Mount Fuji with red eyes. She is in charge of the logistics of this rescue mission. She takes the initiative to order the logistics troops to enter the core of the rescue range without receiving the order from the superior. She will definitely be punished after returning home, however, people are not machines after all. If she is always perfect step by step, she will not be the Lin Qingxue who can shoot the bloodline's head accurately when other people's palms are sweaty. That is the first non-human existence she has killed. Lin Qingxue clenches the magical pistol in her hand. She firmly believes that as long as it is used properly, ordinary soldiers can also defeat this invisible non-human existence behind the scenes. There is a firm look in the female soldier's eyes. Don't go there. Huang Weijian stops Lin Luodong, who is going to check the car. You have to learn to use your spiritual mind. There is no living person in the car. Lin Luodong stops. They are about the same age. In terms of personal ability enhancement, Huang Weijian is a little senior. Lin Luodong is so flustered that he forgets that cultivators can also use their spiritual mind in addition to their eyes. If they can't touch the car, the safest way is to use their spiritual mind. Lin Luodong sees two cars colliding with each other. There is indeed no living person in the car. To be more precise, there are only two drivers in the driver's seat. They have peaceful smiles on their faces, but they are bleeding from 7 orifices. It seems that before they die, they saw something beautiful that they don't want to share with others, so their smiles are a little weird. In the car, except for the two drivers who have stopped their heartbeats and died in a strange way, no matter the Nihanese students who were inexplicably arrogant before or the smiling female student Huang Wan, they all disappear into thin air. From the time we heard the scream to the sudden braking of the car, it has not been more than 30 seconds, right? When Lin Luodong thinks, he is a little like Lin Luoran. He always frowns unconsciously. Huang Weijian nods. 2 living people died in front of their eyes and the students disappeared without a trace. It must be related to the mission of the cultivators from Huaxia. What is it? The clue is right in front of them. Even their compatriots are trapped in it. Lin Luodong's eyes are full of determination. Like Huang Weijian, he can't just sit back and do nothing. Huang Weijian moves his wrist slightly and writes quickly. He writes cursive lines at the end of the pen. He reads slowly, I want to go back with the wind. His voice and the strokes of the pen affect some kind of power between heaven and earth. In the quiet night, the wind suddenly rises, rolling up the fallen leaves and flowers on the ground. Huang Weijian grabs Lin Luodong's arm and they are blown into the air by the seemingly weak wind. Lin Luodong is a little surprised. He asks, when did you learn to fly with the wind? Although Lin Luodong knows that Luodong's Confucianism is a different way of cultivation, cultivators below the level of laying foundation can't fly with the wind. This has become Lin Luodong's way of thinking. However, Huang Weijian suddenly uses a noun and flies with the wind. This is a bit ridiculous. Huang Weijian is so good at hiding it. Huang Weijian ignores him. He changes the strokes of the pen and he and Lin Luodong fly faster. Under the guidance of the bald pen, they go straight to the top of Mount Fuji. If Luodong were in a higher state, he would be able to see that Huang Weijian's cultivation method is not so good. The boy is flying with the help of the magic bald pen. Huang and Luodong are flying with the help of the wind. That is why they are flying with the help of the bald pen. After they disappear, a special forces soldier in camouflage hiding behind the hillside shows up. Hey, 2 young cultivators from Huaxia are sent here this time. With the help of the small but powerful communicator on his wrist, the soldier can clearly hear the conversation between the two teenagers. Because it is related to the missing people, the soldier is about to send the video to his superiors. However, his body suddenly becomes stiff. No one knows what the soldier sees. The smile on his face becomes brighter and brighter. Then his eyes, ears, mouth, and nose start to bleed. In a few seconds, he dies. His name is Hang Kuan, the deputy captain of the special forces in Huaxia codenamed Guangming. He is 28 years old, single, and unmarried. He will sleep on the side of Route 2 of the Kawaguchi Pass of Mount Fuji forever. In the dark night, there seems to be a flash of a gorgeous skirt. The birds on the tree are stunned. When they blink again, there is nothing special on the hillside where the special forces soldier died. Is there something wrong with my eyes? The small brain of the sparrow is not enough for it to think deeply. It is summer and the berries all over Mount Fuji make it even more interested. Huang Weijian controls the wind and lands outside a quaint Japanese-style courtyard. The bald pen in his hand seems to sense something. It is so hot that it almost falls out of his hand. Only the bat monster a few years ago made the bald pen feel like this. Huang Weijian can't help but feel nervous. Why don't you go in? Lin Luodong looks at the slightly low Japanese-style courtyard. He doesn't know why his friend is in a daze. Huang Weijian's eyes under his bangs are full of helplessness. Is Lin Luodong the overprotection? Does he have to suffer losses to learn to be cautious? He is not like Lin Luoran at all. The two youths carefully looked around and finally found something that looked like a road sign. They can't understand Japanese and the English translation can't express the meaning accurately. Lin Luodong takes out his handheld computer and finds out the meaning of the road sign on Baidu. Hangu Sengen Taisha Shrine. Huang Weijian is stunned. Find out what this place is for. Lin Luodong's fingers slide on the screen and the almighty Baidu tells him the truth. It is a place to worship the god of Mount Fuji. The goddess Kanohananakuyaheim is such a tongue twister. Huang Weijian is angry as if someone owes him millions. He snorts, no wonder. No wonder what? Lin Luodong is about to ask when a girl's cry comes from the quiet courtyard. It sounds familiar, isn't it the voice of Huang Wan, the female exchange student? Chapter 352. No wonder what? If there is enough time, Huang Weijian must tutor Luodong on the common sense of personal ability. Gods and monsters were inseparable. Many of the ancient mountain gods were self-appointed by the local monsters. Without the order from the heavenly court, these mountain gods would never get rid of their demon bodies. Naturally, the bald pen reacted as if it had seen a monster. Hearing Huang Wan's crying, Huang Weijian is still hesitant. However, Luodong is so excited that he climbs over the low wall of the grand shrine. Huang Weijian is speechless. From this point of view, Luodong is really like his sister. They are both compassionate, otherwise, the Lin family wouldn't have taken him in, would they? However, Lin Luodong has the ability to be a good person. What about Luodong? Huang Weijian has to follow his friend over the wall with grief and indignation. The two teenagers follow the crying and their figures are soon swallowed up by the thick night. Tonight, there is no light at the Hangu Sengen Taisha shrine. This is a great disrespect to the goddess guarding the mountain. However, these two people can't know this only with the help of Baidu. Deep in the dense forest of Mount Fuji, there is the strange cry of a night owl. Lin Luoran and others land at the scene of the accident one by one. The two cars blocking the middle of the road have caused trouble to other car owners. Some car owners have already called the police after finding the dead bodies. This place will be blocked soon. Different levels of cultivation naturally lead to different horizons. The abnormality that the two teenagers can't find falls into the eyes of Lin Luoran, who is in the level of bearing essence. Obviously, there is a faint evil power left in the bodies of the two strangely dead drivers. This kind of power makes her feel both familiar and completely strange. Is it the power of faith that originates from one but is completely different? The fly Apsara's painted sculpture in Lin Luoran's Ocean of Consciousness is very gorgeous. Some of the flashing faith connection points have quietly extinguished. However, a few light points are not extinguished but become brighter. As time goes by, some people have already forgotten her, the immortal heart fairy, while a few people have become more and more devout. Lin Luoran feels that the small seal of the Dragon King is hot. Lin Luoran is a little annoyed. If she had known this day would come, she would not have taken this seemingly useless, self-apatheizing, seriously. Darkness-type faith power. Little Lin, you're in trouble this time. In the space, Fire Phoenix says lazily. Since Lin Luoran calls it, Little Red, it immediately calls her, Little Linny. Lin Luoran calls it, Little Red. What is the faith power of darkness? This is not the time to care about the title. Lin Luoran pretends that she doesn't hear it. While Li Shi, and others are looking around, she takes the time to ask the Fire Phoenix. Fire Phoenix cackles. There are good and bad people, and so are gods. There is another possibility. If the source of the power of faith is evil, the godhead will also be contaminated with the dark attribute. Lin Luoran has a headache. Didn't the unreliable Little Red say that I am the last god in the world? Fire Phoenix sneers, in addition to you, even Huaxia Buddhist cultivators are still cultivating the power of faith. Of course, it is not surprising that someone can use the power of faith for personal gain. Lin Luoran feels a little relieved. Yuan Yi has already strode back. Grandmaster, a body was found at 9 o'clock. He died in the same way as these two drivers. Judging from his equipment, he should be a Huaxia Special Forces soldier operating here. Lin Luoran is shocked. She knows that the body Yuan Yi is talking about must be the soldier who sent back the video but has been killed. Lin Luoran feels that her steps are a little heavy. She walks to the dead Special Forces soldier. The only thing Lin Luoran can do for the time being is to slowly close his eyes. Inform Lin Qingxue and others. By the way, find out what kind of god is worshipped in Mount Fuji. Yuan Yi nods. The search he uses is the internal information of the tribe for cultivators. It is not the general information on Baidu. While waiting for the information to be generated, Yuan Yi contacts Lin Qingxue. Coincidentally, Lin Qingxue also has news to inform them. She does not mention that she is on her way. Instead, she focuses on the latest investigation results. The camera on the way up the mountain captured the passengers. After investigation, the 10 missing people are all young people under 20 years old. They are students of Sacred Heart Women's College and Aoyama Gakuin University. Coincidentally, these two universities belong to Shibuya District. I checked the information of the missing people. These young people are all under 20 years old. It is a little strange. Yuan Yi murmurs, what's wrong with Shibuya? These missing young people are not only under 20 years old. They are either missing in Shibuya or the Aborigines of Shibuya. Lin Luoran clenches her fists. Both Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian are under 20 years old. It seems that they happen to be in the age range of these missing young people. If they happen to have been to Shibuya before, there is almost a 100% chance that they are in danger. What have you found? Mr. Lin, Li Shi, and Wen Guanjing find nothing. They all gather around. At the beginning of the 9th century, the volcanic eruption of Mount Fuji caused the mountain to become barren. In order to appease the angry mountain god, the local people built a shrine here to worship the goddess, Kanahana no Kyoheim. The Nihonese named it Hanga Sengen Taisha Shrine. Compared with the Yasukuni shrine that often arouses disgust in Huaxia, this place is actually more like the commanding heights of the Nihonese theocracy. Every year, all the big families will send their best children to the shrine. If they can become the grand priest in the future, this family will undoubtedly rise to the sky in a single bound. Lin Luoran takes a few steps in the same place. Saito Asada said he is the guard of the shrine. Does he mean this Hangul Sengentasha shrine? Yuan Yi is stunned. His fingers quickly search in the database. Grandmaster, you are right. Saito Asada is not only the guard of the Sengentasha shrine, but also a popular candidate for the next Grand Priest. Is this incident related to him? Lin Luoran's eyebrows are not completely relaxed. She asks, next. Then who is the Grand Priest this time? Yuan Ye's fingers holding the phone can't help but tighten. The Grand Priest is vacant. There has been no new Grand Priest for 5 years. Saito Asada should be the top spokesman of the Sengentasha shrine at this time. Although Yuan Yi is meticulous, he can't perceive the remaining power of faith at the scene like Lin Luoran. He can't infer some key points for a while. However, Lin Luoran empathizes with him. Her mind gradually becomes clear. Different from her unintentional apatheizing, this series of events seems to be that someone wants to apatheize by faith? No, there are still many key points in such an inference. Lin Luoran thinks hard but still can't understand. Yuan Yi can't help asking, Grandmaster, aren't we going to save Luodong and Lin Luoran? Time is passing little by little. Why isn't the Grandmaster in a hurry? Goldie flies from the depths of the forest and throws a sparrow in front of everyone. The poor little sparrow has already fainted. However, Goldie only catches it as material evidence. He never wants it to be a witness. With the spiritual mind communication between Goldie and Lin Luoran feels that some doubts in her heart are solved. You're saying that it saw a flash of a soldier's skirt when he died? Goldie nods. As the king of birds, this little sparrow certainly doesn't dare to lie to it. Chapter 353. Close to the Pacific coast, about 100 kilometers southwest of Tokyo, Mount Fuji is more than 3,700 meters above sea level. It is one of the largest active volcanoes in the world. Although it is currently dormant, the earthquake in the waters of Honshu Island of Neon a few years ago also caused an unusual tremor of Mount Fuji. At that time, experts speculated that Mount Fuji would probably erupt because of the earthquake. Somehow, it quieted down again, which made the residents of Shizuoka and Yamanashi prefectures panic. On the top of the high mountain, there is a shrine built for the goddess Kanohana Sequoiaheim. It is Mount Fuji Hangul Sengentasha Shrine, which rules more than 1,300 Sengentasha shrines all over the country. In 1604 AD, Tokugawa Ieyasu built the main hall, the Hall of Worship, the Hall of Coin, and the Hall of Dance, which formed the Japanese-style ancient building complex on the top of Mount Fuji. Lin Luoran leads the Lin family to the mountain aboveboard. Something red like a huaxia archway is called torii by the locals. It is rare to see such a tall gate in such a small place. This is the main gate of Mount Fuji Hangul Sengentasha Shrine. Of course, ordinary tourists can't come here at night. However, Lin Luoran leads everyone to swagger here. Because she doesn't hide her personal ability, her arrival has already alerted the owner. Someone comes out with a few paper lanterns, illuminating the newly paved asphalt road in front of the shrine. Saito Asada shows a stiff smile on his serious face. It's late at night. I didn't know you would come here at this time. His huaxia is more sincere than his smile. Lin Luoran also smiles reservedly. The night view of Mount Fuji is good. We wandered far away and came here by accident. I hope we won't disturb you at night, Protector Asada. The conversation between the two is like a meeting between the leaders of two countries. What they say is all dignified and polite empty words. Li Shi looks around with her big amber-like eyes. She doesn't know what's going on with her school sister Lin tonight. In such an urgent situation, she is still polite to these Nihanese cultivators and can't get to the point. When Guanjing is also surprised that Lin Luoran has such a side. Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi are very proud of Lin Luoran. The Lin family is always calm. However, he doesn't know how Luodong and Huang Weijian are doing. Mr. Lin is a little emotional. He should be the pillar of the Lin family, but his cultivation is not good enough. Now his daughter has to do it. Senior cultivator, if you don't mind, how about coming in and visiting our club? Saito Asada is very humble, so Lin Luoran takes advantage of the situation. The one with the lantern seems to be a servant of the shrine. He is silent all the way. Saito Asada is obviously a humble person. His explanation all the way is a bit dry. There are two sun flags fluttering in the wind on both sides of the main hall, which makes Lin Luoran feel a little strange. It was said that in the tens of thousands of shrines scattered all over Nippon, there were many comfort tablets and loyalty tablets. Just like the offerings in the Yasukuni shrine, these so-called loyalty tablets were stained with the strong smell of blood of Huaxia civilians. She even thinks of the blood pool under the Zhongshan Mausoleum in Jinling. It was the blood of hundreds of thousands of civilians that caused the bloody evil Reiki. All these make her slightly uncomfortable. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether her Huaxia compatriots care about such taboo when they come to play happily and write down their wishes on the emma, which is like a wishing card. Or is she the only one who cares so much about the gray history recorded in the paper? Maybe they are not direct relatives, but they are compatriots with the same blood. They were massacred. Can't such a history make any waves in people's hearts? When Guanjing looks very serious. Even Li Shi, is infected by Lin Luoran's sudden solemn expression. Mr. Lin doesn't like these low Japanese-style houses at all. Yuan Yi is smart. He more or less guesses his grandmaster's mind. Lord Asada, can we go and pay a visit to the goddess guarding the mountain? Now that he knows what his grandmaster is thinking, Yuan Yi cleverly changes the topic. There is still no news of Luodong and Huang Weijian, and the Huaxia cultivators who have been lost haven't been rescued yet. Although Yuan Yi also agrees with his young but powerful grandmaster to chop down the holy palace into a pile of wood, at least they have to save people first, right? Saito Asada looks serious. Of course, he has to nod. Since the door is open to welcome guests, there is no reason not to let guests pay a visit to the goddess. As the guard of the grand shrine, Saito Asada's words and deeds represent the face of the Fuji-Hangu Sengen Taisha shrine when the grand priest is temporarily absent. To some extent, what he says can also represent the goddess Kanohana Sequoiaheim in the eyes of his believers. Lin Luoran really goes to pay a visit to the goddess. Li Shi takes the opportunity to take Mr. Lin and Wen Guanjing to wander around the grand shrine. She moves lightly and jumps over the gate of the courtyard. The waiters who are waiting with lanterns have to keep up with them in wooden clogs. Saito Asada wants to say something, but Yuan Yi asks him about the story of Kanohana Sequoiaheim with a serious face. If he doesn't respond, it will be the evidence that he is not sincere in serving the goddess. This is extremely unfavorable for the election of the grand priest. If he responds, he really can't stop these people from wandering around in the grand shrine and disturbing the goddess. Lin Luoran walks into the main hall. The statue of the goddess in the shrine is made of wood. She closes her eyes and feels the power of faith shrouding the main hall. A wave of black fog almost overturns her small boat. Lin Luoran can't help but clench her fists. The power of faith is all black. What kind of wish do they sincerely pray for every day to gather into the black power of faith? Lin Luoran is so shocked and angry that she forgets what happened in the Jokhang temple. She has not become immortal at the moment. Gods have their own Taoist field. How can she enter the main hall of the Sengen Taisha shrine with Godhead? Before Lin Luoran realizes it, Yuan Yi can't stop Saito Asada anymore. The latter quickly steps into the hall. Lin Luoran can't check it anymore, so she excuses to leave. Li Shi, and others also look unhappy. It seems that they don't find anything special. Only the black power of faith with dark attributes in the main hall proves that the Sengen Taisha shrine has an inescapable relationship with the disappearance. However, there is no clue about where those missing people have gone. Lin Luoran and others come and go in a hurry. Saito Asada watches them leave and then asks the waiters to close the door. He returns to the main hall. A black shadow comes out from the thick fog and screams, "Why does she have Godhead?" Kill her. We must kill her. Saito Asada is confused. He doesn't have time to ask what having Godhead means. The only thought left in his mind is, kill her. It's best to kill a rookie who doesn't belong to Neon. As the most devout believer of the goddess, Saito Asada doesn't resist this order at all. When the door of the main hall is gently closed, he is so muddle-headed that he doesn't find tears coming out of the eyes of the wooden statue on the shrine. Because of the urgency of time, Lin Luoran also doesn't find that the wooden statue on the shrine is still covered with a layer of white power of faith. In the main hall filled with black air, it is just like Lin Luoran's own senses. She is like a small boat in the raging sea, precarious. School sister, there is obviously something strange in the Taisha shrine, but we can't find out anything. Damn it. Li Shi holds the bundling rope tightly. She can't calm down at the thought of Lin Luodong and Huang Weijian, who she has watched grow up. Lin Luoran is more anxious than her. However, if she can't find the center of the dark power of faith in the main hall, it will be more dangerous than any battle she has ever fought in her personal ability. Unless it is a last resort, Lin Luoran doesn't want to do something she is not sure about. It will not only be of no help but also harm her family. Luodong, Huang Weijian, and the Huaxia cultivators who are lost, you must hold on. Lin Luoran is secretly anxious. She has to stay calm for the sake of everyone's morale. Li Shi is upset, so now we. Lin Luoran summons the bright sword, go back to Shibuya. The missing young people are all related to Shibuya. If she can't find anything on Mount Fuji for the time being, she can only start from Shibuya. This time Yuanyi rides on the sword with Mr. Lin. Goldie seems to be forgotten by them in a corner of the mountains. Lin Qingxue takes a team of special forces and treks on another mountain pass of Mount Fuji. They are all equipped with the most sophisticated weapons. They are the most disciplined team in Huaxia and the most powerful in individual combat. Corresponding to the dark power of faith in the main hall of the Hanga Sengen Taisha shrine, their team happens to be called Light. Can the Light Squad really bring miracles? A special force soldier suddenly makes a sound of surprise. Lin Qingxue turns around, what's wrong? The special force soldier chooses to share functions. In the white light of his communicator, many fluctuating lines and values appear in the virtual video. Sir, there were signs of human activity here half an hour ago. Scientific and technological civilization is not without merit. Lin Qingxue clenches the magical pistol in her hand. This is a high mountain about 3,000 meters above sea level. Not far away is the vast snow top of Mount Fuji. How can there be people here on a night when the snow is melting? It is too suspicious. Follow the traces. Yes. Their military boots step on the dead branches, making a slight sound. The direction they are heading is a valley full of snow. Lin Qingxue's breath is so light that it can't be heard. She doesn't know what kind of truth she is approaching. Even if she succeeds by luck, she will be punished with glory after returning home. But Lin Qingxue doesn't regret it at all. Chapter 354. Everyone just won't vote until the chapter is updated. If you don't vote after 12 o'clock, the red votes will be wasted. Keeping them won't give you small votes. Everyone should vote as soon as possible. B. What's different about Shibuya? Back to the hotel, Lin Luoran finds that Lin Qingxue and all logistics staff are gone. Lin Luoran's helplessness can't be easily solved by a sigh. She asks Goldie, who stays in Mount Fuji, to use the power of the bird to find them. Lin Luoran's task is not easy. Shibuya District, together with Ikebukuro and Shinjuku, is one of the 3 sub-capitals of Tokyo. In fact, it was born in the 18th year of Meiji. In order to connect Akabane and Shinagawa, the Shinagawa line was built and a station called Shibuya appeared. It has a history of only 300 years. There is nothing special about it. Yuanyi tells them the information he has found. Everyone is inevitably disappointed. Mr. Lin is a man of few words. He suddenly asks, what about near Shibuya? Near Shibuya? This is also a good idea. The administrative districts are not always the same. Yuan Yi soon finds the details he wants in the database. Well, in the Edo period, there was a Kamaba near Shibuya. It was a place for generals to hunt hawks. This was a field of about 160,000 square meters. In the second year of Kenbao, that is, in 1716, it was designated as a falcon hunting place by Tokugawa Yashimun. After several changes, the vicinity of Kamaba became a military important place. With the increase of soldiers, military facilities, and visitors, Shibuya Station was gradually formed, which is the predecessor of today's Shibuya district. Lin Luoran gets the point at once. Wait, who designated this place as a falcon hunting place? Tokugawa Yashimun. Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows. The Hangu Sengen Taisha shrine in Mount Fuji was expanded by a man named Tokugawa Ieyasu. Check if they have any relationship. Yuan Yi looks down and searches. He also smiles slightly. Grandmaster, you are right. Tokugawa Ieyasu, who expanded Mount Fuji, was the first daimyo of the Edo shogunate. Tokugawa Yashimun, who designated the falcon hunting place in Shibuya, was the 8th daimyo of the Edo shogunate. The two were in power only for more than 100 years. The latter is Tokugawa Ieyasu's great-grandson. Lin Luoran stands up. I think this is the problem. Tokugawa Ieyasu expanded the Sengen Taisha shrine and Tokugawa Yashimun designated it as the falcon hunting ground. More than 300 years later, a large number of young people here have disappeared, and all the clues point to Fujiyama Hangu Sengen Taisha shrine. I'm afraid this is not a coincidence. Li's eyes light up. We have been to the Sengen Taisha shrine, but we didn't find anything. What if we can find the falconry hunting ground? Yuan Yi laughs in a low voice. The falcon hunting place has changed several times. Later, it became a military training place. Now, it is Kamaba Park in Shibuya. When Guanjing snaps his fingers, shall we go there now? Lin Luoran nods. Everyone is excited. A plot that everyone has no clue about may be unveiled soon. It is related to the safety of the people they care about. Lin Luoran and others really don't want to wait any longer. Sir, there is no way here. A special forces soldier holding the communicator reports in a low voice. Lin Qingxue and others walk along the traces left by the predecessors for more than 20 minutes. Special forces soldiers walk very fast. After jungle training, the rugged mountain road is no obstacle for ordinary people. They have walked a long way. In front of them is the smoking crater of Mount Fuji. As a dormant active volcano, the smell of sulfur is very strong. The crater of Mount Fuji is not the highest place in the mountain range. The highest place is a place called Sword Peak, which is dozens of meters higher than the crater of Mount Fuji. The traces of human activities disappear under the Sword Peak. In this season, the snow on the top of the mountain has almost melted. There is water everywhere after the melted snow. The whole top of the mountain is smothered by the geothermal heat. Under the alternating geothermal heat, it is very stuffy and humid. Search around carefully. Lin Qingxue orders. Yes. Special forces soldiers search around the crater with the special function of the communicator. In less than 2 minutes, a special forces soldier makes a new discovery. Sir, look. In the virtual screen displayed this time, there are not only a bunch of values and analysis, but also a few semi-residual footprints leading to the crater and then suddenly disappearing. After analysis, these footprints belong to 2 different people. They are both over 1.75 meters tall and about 65 kilograms in weight. They should have passed here half an hour ago. Half an hour ago? Did they disappear in the crater? Lin Qingxue ponders. 2 people come to the crater in the middle of the night. They can't have an appointment to jump into the volcano to commit suicide. They are tall and thin. Isn't it very suitable for the 2 missing young cultivators of the Lin family? It only takes Lin Qingxue a few seconds to think about it. She has decided to go to the crater in person. As a logistics supply this time, they certainly do not lack things like ropes. However, Special Forces soldiers are against it. "Sir, you should let us go down." "Sir, He Fei requests to carry out this mission." "Sir," Lin Qingxue waves her hand, "I will go down myself." "If I go down for 5 minutes, He Fei, you are responsible for informing Cultivator Lin and others whether there is an answer or not." He Fei is a thin little man. After hearing Lin Qingxue's order, this new Special Forces soldier who just passed the assessment last year is a little red. However, he can only promise to complete the order. Lin Qingxue stares at him with burning eyes. The little man has to quickly set up a program on his communication device and add Lin Luoran's mobile number. Once the program is set, it cannot be modified. As the master, He Fei can't violate the setting. Lin Qingxue sees that there is no chance to reverse the situation. She finally smiles. She takes out a roll of something like a flashlight from her backpack and presses the switch. The metal nail is drilled into the rock on the edge of the crater for more than 1 meter. One end of the metal nail is connected to the sticky liquid extracted from spider silk. It will become a very ductile rope the moment it encounters space. The diameter is only a few millimeters. The amount of the size of a flashlight is enough for a person holding the liquid rope to jump from the height of Mount Everest without breaking. Good ductility and convenient liquid rope. The technology of Yuli civilization is only 500 years more advanced than that of the Earth. Huaxia can already get a lot of inspiration and progress from it. Lin Qingxue unloads most of the weight on her body. She only takes some very important personal belongings. She even takes the magical pistol in her hand. When she pulls the thin rope and jumps down the crater, she is even a little determined. She is confused about the future and resolute about life and death. Lin Qingxue feels the wind whistling. The strong smell of sulfur and the thick smoke are drilling into her eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. She touches the communication device reluctantly. A beam of strong light shines down. In the thick smoke, Lin Qingxue doesn't find the rolling magma. She feels a little relaxed. After a long time, she has seen the flat ground under her feet. It is a piece of brown hard soil covered with cracks. The thick smoke and the smell of sulfur come from the cracks. Lin Qingxue suspects that the cracked hard soil can't bear the huge momentum of her jumping down. She doesn't want to break the soil layer and see the hot magma waiting for her. Lin Qingxue's extremely strong body makes her barely roll a few times on the hot inner wall of the volcano. She lands in a not-so-graceful posture. This is the way to minimize the impact. The temperature here is as high as the inner wall of a fireplace. As soon as Lin Qingxue lands, she feels dehydrated. She pulls the liquid rope to show that she has arrived smoothly. She bites her tongue and tries to contact her teammates, but finds that the powerful communication device has no signal. This has never happened before. The communication device uses a newly discovered medium in the air as the transmission conductor. In theory, it can work normally no matter where it is on the Earth. However, since there are cultivators in this world, there are phenomena beyond the scientific explanation. Lin Qingxue is not panicked. She just wants to find a way as soon as possible. Since people can't be roasted here and there are no corpses on the ground, where are the 2 unknown people who entered the crater more than half an hour ago? There is another passage here. Lin Qingxue gropes along the mountain wall. The high temperature makes huge blisters appear on this special female soldier's hands. However, she seems to feel no pain at all. The exit must be at the bottom of the volcano. It has been 5 minutes since Lin Qingxue arrived underground. He Feng's message has been sent. Far away in Kamaba Park, Lin Luoran is holding a weird statue dug up 50 meters underground in Kamaba Park thoughtfully. Her mobile phone suddenly vibrates. The short and clear message makes Lin Luoran's fingers holding the weird statue tighten. "I think the Light Squad has found the right place for us." The strong power of faith of the dark attribute of the weird statue makes Lin Luoran feel that her palm is burning. When Guanjing and others are all very strange. This statue is so lifelike that it is definitely not the image of the goddess guarding the mountain. Go to the crater of Mount Fuji. Yes. Lin Qingxue passes through a thick layer of black mist as if she suddenly comes to another world. Has she unconsciously left the crater and arrived at the foot of Mount Fuji? No, no. When she came, the snow on the top of the mountain has almost melted. However, the top of Mount Fuji in front of her is still covered with snow. In just a few minutes, of course, she can't cross the season. So, where is this? Lin Qingxue is a little confused, but the soldier's nature makes her able to cope with unexpected situations. She begins to explore this somewhat different Mount Fuji. Suddenly there is singing in the bright night. Lin Qingxue quickly steps forward and finds a young man in traditional Nihanese costume, carrying a bamboo basket and picking herbs under the moonlight. Lin Qingxue, who will not change her expression even if Mount Tai collapses in front of her, suddenly widens her eyes. Cultivator Cui, why are you here? Chapter 355. She has been down there for more than 10 minutes. The crater of Mount Fuji smells strongly of sulfur. When Lin Luoran and others arrive, Lin Qingxue has been inside the crater for more than 10 minutes. He Fei tells them what they found. Even Lin Luoran suspects that the two footprints into the crater are Luodong and Huang Weijian. School Sister Li, School Brother Wen, can you two lead the logistics team to guard the crater? Li Shi still wants to say something, but when Guanjing nods. He guesses that Lin Luoran is going to go deep into the crater by herself, but the danger is unknown. If someone blocks her way out, School Sister Lin may not be able to return to the real world. School Sister Li, let's stay and guard the crater. School Sister Lin can go down to find the truth with peace of mind. Li Shi always trusts Wen Guanjing. After listening to his explanation, she immediately nods. Yuan Yi stands with a sword in his hand. Grandmaster, please let me go with you. Mr. Lin doesn't say anything. He is also determined to go down. The Lin family is not the kind of people who only want to share wealth. Lin Luoran is going to take risks. With their personal ability, they can't stay and guard the crater. They might as well take a risk. Lin Luoran nods. To fight side by side with her family, to protect the people she cares about, sometimes the potential of the human body can burst out. Even as a bearing essence cultivator, she can't estimate it. She calls Goldie, who is flying between the mountains. Only then do these special forces know that a golden eagle has been following them and playing the role of secret protection. Without the golden hawk's secret protection, can they reach the crater smoothly? Thinking of this, they suddenly feel the dark night scene makes them feel cold. Lin Luoran takes the liquid rope from He Fei and hands it to Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi. Goldie, as big as an ordinary hawk, goes down first. The three of them jump down one after another. Lin Luoran guesses that the temperature under the crater will be very high, so she also raises a water dome for them. The three of them soon arrive at the crater with thick sulfur smoke. Unlike Lin Qingxue, they are all cultivators who can control their strength flexibly. Lin Luoran lands lightly and casts a voice passing to inform everyone at the crater that she has arrived safely. Master, this hard soil layer is very thin. It's not more than a meter thick. There's really the danger of a volcanic eruption here at any time. Yuan Yi gently stamps his feet. The area under the crater is not small, and the place where they are standing is not safe. Lin Luoran smiles. What are you afraid of? Even if someone really wanted to tamper with the volcano's eruption, the ones who would die the most would be the local civilians. We don't have the face to let so many people die with us. Yuan Yi nods. Mr. Lin points to the volcano wall and says, Ran, look. It's not normal here. That was the inner wall of the volcano in the southeast corner. There were traces of magma eruption, and with the addition of sulfur smoke day and night, the mountain wall here was steaming and covered with a layer of yellowish-brown material. It's the sulfur in the form of slabs. There's a scratch here that hasn't been covered by the sulfur, which means that someone stopped in front of this cliff not long ago. Yuan-Yi is wrapped in the water dome like a big moving bubble. In the thick yellow sulfur smoke, Yuan-Yi takes 2 steps forward and suddenly falls on the mountain wall. This sudden change only makes Lin Luoran hesitate for a second. She opens her hands slightly and pulls Yuan-Yi back forcibly. Having experienced this before, Yuan-Yi is not afraid. Instead, he looks happy. Master, when I approached the mountain wall, I vaguely saw the overlapping shadows of the mountain. There must be another world behind the mountain wall. Lin Qingxue and Luodong probably entered this world one after another. There is another world behind the mountain wall. Lin Luoran pulls Yuan-Yi away and puts her hand on the mountain wall. Sure enough, there is a power of faith trying to pull her into the mountain wall. After all, Lin Luoran has the personal ability of bearing essence, and the fly Apsara's painted sculpture is guarding her ocean of consciousness. She has excellent self-control and takes her hand back as if nothing has happened. Maybe there is another world. If Luodong and others really go behind the mountain wall, it will be a bit troublesome. Let's go in too. Lin Luoran is afraid that this place is just like the Bermuda secret land where teleportation is random. Therefore, she holds Mr. Lin and Yuan-Yi tightly. Goldie also holds her collar tightly. 3 people and 1 hawk take 2 steps forward and are swallowed by the mountain wall together. Billowing sulfur smoke comes out from the cracks of the hard soil layer. Under the soil layer less than 1 meter thick, there seems to be magma rolling not far away. This is indeed an extremely dangerous active volcano. Lin Luoran and others pass through a thick layer of black mist. The white light is so dazzling that the 3 of them can't help but close their eyes. When they get used to the light and open their eyes again, Lin Luoran is still surprised by the scene in front of her even though she has been mentally prepared. The dazzling white light that makes them close their eyes is formed by the reflection of the sun by the snow mountain. Ordinary people will even be in danger of being blind if they look directly at the snow in the snow. The snow mountain is wide at the bottom and sharp at the top. It is a famous mountain that Lin Luoran has seen countless times in geography textbooks and TV dramas when she was in school. She will never mistake it. That is Mount Fuji. Lin Luoran, Mr. Lin, and Yuan-Yi are standing at the foot of Mount Fuji at this moment. Not far away is the peak of Mount Fuji covered with snow. There are 2 feet of snow under her feet. Only a small amount of frozen hard soil is exposed where the snow has not completely covered. Lin Luoran is wearing the protean dress so she doesn't feel anything. Yuan-Yi and Mr. Lin are wearing summer clothes without armor. They are unprepared and their bare skin is covered with goosebumps. Lin Luoran can't help laughing at the bright snow and the Mount Fuji which has no trace of modern cement. It's kind of interesting. This is clearly a second identical Mount Fuji. She is afraid that not only the night and day in which she lives are reversed, but also the era may be changed. Is it time travel or illusion? Lin Luoran's intuition tells her that this should be a state between the 2. Don't use anything here. Don't touch food or water. Lin Luoran sees a woodman trudging with 2 bundles of firewood in the mountain stream. She reminds Mr. Lin and Yuan-Yi. Lin Luoran also takes out the rabbit fur cloak that she made with Sister Wang and Mrs. Lin from the space and wears it over her clothes. In this way, she finally doesn't feel out of place in the same season. Mr. Lin's storage belt is like a small supermarket. He takes out 2 sets of men's cotton-padded clothes and throws one to Yuan-Yi. The woodman gradually approaches and Lin Luoran's expression becomes strange. She thinks he is an old man because he can't move easily. However, when he gets closer, she finds that he is a young man with a white face. His face is white and clean. Only his palms are scratched by the firewood. On such a cold day, he is wearing wooden clogs and a pair of white socks are wet by the snow. Yuan-Yi feels cold when he sees the young woodman's clothes on such a snowy day. However, his soft skin and tender flesh made him look like a pampered young master instead of a woodcutter. Guests, where do you come from? The woodman is also looking at the three people, especially Lin Luoran. The snow-white rabbit fur coat is from the underground world, so it looks more expensive than ordinary fur. The woodman can't figure out her identity. He only feels that she is too beautiful and noble. As for the cotton-padded clothes of Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi and the men's boots on their feet, they are all weird in his eyes. This woman is so strange. She even has a golden eagle with her. The woodman has identified the three of them as outsiders. After a simple introduction, the three of them can understand his Nihanese. Lin Luoran thinks for a while. Mr. Lin and Yuan Ye's clothes are too weird compared with the woodman. They can't pretend to be locals, so they just pretend to be outsiders. Therefore, she deliberately says in Huaxia language, "We are here to see the snow. We got lost." The woodman exclaims, "Are you guests from the Ming Kingdom?" His Huaxia language is not very standard. Lin Luoran looks at him deeply. A woodman can also speak Huaxia. Thinking of this, she smiles, which makes the woodman panic. Lin Luoran says she is lost and it is difficult to walk in the snow. The woodman also invites the three of them to his house for a rest. Lin Luoran readily agrees, which makes the young woodman a little embarrassed. He carries 2 loads of firewood and walks in the front. The snow makes it difficult to walk on the mountain road. After walking for about half an hour, they come to a snow-covered cabin on the mountainside. This is a low Nihanese house with white paper on the sliding door. The woodman puts the firewood under the eaves and opens the door to invite Lin Luoran and others into the house. They can't wear shoes full of snow water to go to the house where others sleep. They take off their shoes and walk up in socks. The wooden board is cold. Lin Luoran doesn't know how people living in such conditions adapt to the environment. The woodman is going to boil water. Lin Luoran doesn't plan to eat anything here, so she pretends to ask Yuan Yi to do it. In fact, she has secretly put a lot of rice and noodles into Yuan Ye's backpack. Yuan Ye's storage bag should have water, so she doesn't do anything unnecessary. The woodman thinks Yuan Yi is a servant brought by Lin Luoran, so he doesn't object. Lin Luoran begins to lead the woodman to tell her the truth. When Yuan Yi painstakingly cooks the edible food and serves it, Lin Luoran has confirmed a piece of bad news. This is indeed Mount Fuji in Neon, but it is not 2018 AD. According to the woodman, Tokugawa Ieyasu, who represents patience, has just won in Edo. According to later generations, this is roughly the 8th year of Keisho, which is 1603 AD. Tokugawa Ieyasu was appointed as the general of conquest in the first half of the year and opened the shogunate in Edo. At the beginning of the Edo era? If it is someone else, he must be dizzy and think he has traveled through time. After all, Lin Luoran has done this before. She has been to Babylon even further back. The question is, if this is really Neon in the Edo era, from whom does this young woodman learn Huaxia language? His Huaxia language is stiff, but it is 100% Mandarin pronunciation. On the other side of the ocean in the Edo era, Huaxia is still in the Ming dynasty. Lin Luoran doesn't think that the Mandarin of the Ming dynasty is the Mandarin of later generations. So, is this a place more like the illusion world? However, the Mount Fuji in front of her is very real. The woodman standing in front of her is definitely not an illusion. She can also tell the difference between illusion and real people. Chapter 356. Lin Luoran, Yuan Yi, and Yuan Yi say goodbye to the woodman without staying overnight. Before leaving, they ask him his name. The young woodman is stunned and smiles, "I'm Sano Matsuoka." Yuan Yi is surprised. He wants to say something but is stopped by Lin Luoran's eyes. The three of them turn a corner together. After leaving the woodman's sight, they change their route and go up Mount Fuji. Master, before the Meiji Restoration in Japan, only the Chinese, the nobles, and the rich had surnames. In the early years of the Meiji Restoration, people like Matsuoka and Yamamoto were obviously people who used their surnames as their residence during the Meiji Restoration. Japanese with surnames are not woodcutters. Lin Luoran nods, his physique is weak and cold. He is not like a woodman who grew up in the mountains. Instead, he is like a flower in a greenhouse. Do you understand what I mean? Yuan Yi is stunned. Grandmaster, do you suspect that he is one of the missing young people from Shibuya? Look at him. He can't remember the past at all. It seems that he was born to be a woodman. Mr. Lin is a man of few words, but his words always hit the nail on the head. It has only been a month since the first disappearance. How can the young Nihonese be born to be a woodman? Lin Luoran thinks of the wooden statue in her space and the strange power of faith with the property of darkness. She turns to Yuan Yi and Mr. Lin and says, "We don't want to forget the past like that woodman. We should always be vigilant and remind each other to stick to our original hearts." Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi agree. After a while, the three of them come to the Hanga Sengen Taisha shrine. It has not been expanded yet. Snowflakes are piled up at the gate of the shrine. Although it is a bit shabby, Lin Luoran feels it has the essence of the shrine. Goldie goes to communicate with the local birds and inquire about the news. She sneaks in with Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi. The shrine is still worshipping the goddess Kanohana Sequoiaheim. Other than that, there is nothing unusual. It seems to be a place of pious religion. Yuan Yi is silent for a long time after coming out. "Grandmaster, I wonder if we are in a dream." "Oh, why do you have such a feeling?" Lin Luoran always pays more attention to her apprentice's thoughts. Yuan Yi coughs. In the Ming dynasty, there were still many bearing essence cultivators in Huaxia. In Neon at the same time, in such an important place as Mount Fuji Shrine, your personal ability is high while my grandmaster and I are only in the period of training qi. It's so strange that no one in the shrine noticed us sneaking in. Yes, it's so strange. This seemingly flawless Mount Fuji and shrine are just like a flower frame. They lack the foundation they should have. That's why Yuan Yi said it was like a dream. Xiao Jin flew back. The birds here looked dull and couldn't communicate with him. He didn't get any useful clues and returned empty-handed. Lin Luoran agrees with Yuan Yi more and more. All this is like a dream. She lowers her head and thinks, "Let's go to Edo and have a look." Edo was later known as Tokyo. From the first generation of the Tokugawa shogunate until the Meiji Restoration, Edo was the political center of the Tokugawa shogunate for more than 200 years. But in the early years of the Edo shogunate, Edo was still an ordinary small town. Walking on the street of Edo, Lin Luoran, Yuan Yi, and Lin Luoran are dazzling. Their attire, which is different from that of the people of that era, is also eye-catching. None of the three of them will wear Nihonese clothes. They turn a deaf ear to those inquiring eyes. Nihonese people have no advantage in height, let alone the people of Edo 400 years ago. Lin Luoran is a woman, but she is 1.7 meters tall. Walking on the street, she can look down on most people. Of course, there are exceptions. A man in a plain white samurai suit is particularly eye-catching because he is very tall and familiar. Yi Xiaobei. Yuan Yi will never forget the lucky guy who came to Lin's family to get the foundation-laying bolus. Even Lin Luoran recognizes this young man. He is Yi Xiaobei, whom she met a few years ago. At this moment, he is like a noble son of Edo with a long sword on his waist. He doesn't look like a cultivator or a little otaku at all. He is shining and outshines other samurai or ronin on the street. Hearing someone calling, "Yi Xiaobei," he turns a deaf ear to it. When he passes by Lin Luoran, he even looks at Lin Luoran frivolously. In the past, this otaku cultivator would not dare to be so frivolous to Master Lin, even if someone puts a knife on his neck. Yuan Yi is so angry that he wants to beat this guy. He is stopped by Lin Luoran. He must have forgotten who he is now. It is such a coincidence to meet an acquaintance. Let's follow him. Seeing that Yi Xiaobei is well dressed, Lin Luoran has guessed many places he may go. However, she never thought that it would be a remote alley. There are many people dressed as samurai around the door of a house, saying something like, Yukiko. The sound of stringed instruments and singing comes faintly. It seems to imply cherry blossoms. There is a red plum tree in full bloom inside the wall. Under the snow, Lin Luoran suddenly understands where this place is, the fireworks alley from ancient times to the present. It really has the same style regardless of region or country. Yuan Yi is shocked. Yi Xiaobei, you brat, actually comes to a brothel. Lin Luoran kicks him, who comes to a brothel in the daytime. This should be a place for kabuki performances. Yuan Yi is very sad. Yi Xiaobei really has no moral integrity at all. He wears a samurai suit and comes to watch a kabuki performance excitedly. A fake masked man, with a face painted white and a mouth that was slightly red walked out in small, bashful steps. She is wearing a black skirt with red edges. It is much more complicated than a modern kimono. As soon as she starts to speak, her throat feels like being run over by wheels. Lin Luoran knows that this gorgeously dressed woman is not young. She says a lot in a pretentious tone. The gist of it is that Yukiko is still dressing and she asks the guests to wait. This is a very obvious way to increase her value. Yi Xiaobei seems to be impatient. It seems that he values Yukiko very much. The rest of the samurai are also impatient, but they have to endure it. Lin Luoran and the other two are also watching quietly. The fake mask woman with a snow-white face looks at Lin Luoran from time to time. She looks at Lin Luoran's face secretly. This may be her occupational disease. When she sees a beautiful woman, she always thinks whether she will be popular if she performs kabuki. However, Lin Luoran is noble. The fake mask woman also knows that she can't think about Lin Luoran. After a few glances, she is disappointed and gives up. After waiting for half an hour, a few white-faced geishas come out with small steps. They are surrounded by a group of samurai and go in. Lin Luoran and the other two also go in with the crowd. They are stopped by the fake mask woman who looks like a brothel keeper. Women can't go in. Probably the truth is that women without money can't go in. Lin Luoran sees many samurai throw a small ingot of gold to the fake brothel keeper. She doesn't bring gold or silver, but there are many other valuable things in her space. Lin Luoran takes out a small raw jade stone from her space. When she hands it to the fake mask woman, it turns into a transparent jade ring. Jade and gold should be the common currency in ancient Asia. The fake masked man retracted his hand that was blocking them, and his attitude became respectful. Taking dad to a brothel? This is a new experience. Although they are here for business, Lin Luoran is still a little embarrassed. Paper doors are pulled open. It turns out to be a large room. The long room is divided into small rooms by screens. Lin Luoran chooses an inconspicuous position. She only needs to see Yi Xiaobei. A geisha comes to pour wine. Lin Luoran casually throws the jade left when she just made the ring to her. She is a very generous guest. If Lin Luoran is not a good-looking woman, the geisha will stick to her. It is the kind of Nihanese folk music with a cherry blossom tone. A tall geisha in red clothes with many hairpins is supported out. The white powder on her face is much thinner, but her facial features can still be seen. Lin Luoran guesses that she is the so-called Yukiko. She glances at her and is so shocked that she almost knocks over the wine on the table. Lin Qingxue. Yukiko looks at her. Unlike Yi Xiaobei, who is completely indifferent to her name, she has a lot of confusion in her eyes. The masker can tell that Lin Luoran is a troublemaker. She warns her with an unkind look. Lin Luoran ignores her. Lin Qingxue, what are you doing in this dress? Samurai draw out their swords to protect their goddess, Yukiko. The masker also asks others to help Yukiko down. The screen is accidentally knocked down by the geishas. One of Yukiko's sleeves is torn off, revealing a healthy wheat-colored skin. The name, Lin Qingxue, is engraved on her wrist with an unknown tool. It is clear and distinguishable. My name is not Yukiko. I am Lin Qingxue. Lin Qingxue hasn't completely forgotten her predecessor because of the short time and her strong willpower. Seeing her real name engraved on her arm, she struggles to rush to Lin Luoran. Inform Cultivator Lin. Inform Cultivator Lin. She is obviously very emotional. She doesn't recognize the three people in front of her. She just subconsciously wants to bring the news to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran sighs. She knocks her unconscious and asks Yuan Yi to carry her away. Yi Xiaobei holds a long sword and shouts, "Put down Yukiko." Lin Luoran turns her head, "Who are you?" She is afraid that Yi Xiaobei can't understand Huaxia in this state, so she deliberately speaks Nihanese. Yi Xiaobei raises his chin, "Tokugawa Makita." Interesting. His surname is Tokugawa. Lin Luoran chuckles, knock him unconscious and take him away. Yuan Ye's figure is like a ghost. He grabs Yi Xiaobei and Lin Luoran takes the unconscious Lin Qingxue. They swagger out of this place with the two of them. The masker seems to be suffering from osteochondrosis. She can't stand steadily. It's over. It's over. The son of the Tokugawa family has been kidnapped, a geishas reminds her in a low voice, and Yukiko. The masker who is suffering from osteochondrosis wails and passes out completely. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.